Hello,
Hey guys.
everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to All Things Scientology, in which we pull back the curtain on the abusive practices of Scientology. We're your hosts. I'm Claire Headley.
And I'm Amy Scobie with my wonderful husband, Mark Pesh.
And
Matt.
my wonderful husband, Mark Headley, aka Blown for Good.
Hey guys. Welcome to the channel.
Yes, thank you for tuning in for another week in All Things Scientology. And with our combined experience, we have a few things that we'd like to share about Scientology. This week is going to be a fun topic. We're going to cover some heavy stuff at first, but we're going to lighten it up toward the end because we need to. But also because there's some things that the boys, Marc and Matt, did in the Sea organization to get around the rules. Claire and I were rule followers for the most part.
Yes.
Right, Claire? Yes.
Emphasis on for the most part.
Yes, yeah. There's a couple little things.
Yeah, when I was telling Claire some of my rule breaks, she was piping in on the exact same things. And I was like,
Whoa.
what? And she told me some doozies too. And I thought,
is that right?
Oh, we definitely have to. Yeah, even those super high up executives in Religious Technology Center were breaking some rules. Mm-hmm.
We want to know all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, but let's go into the comments real quick and take a look at where people are watching from. This is an international show. We always have people from all over the world watching. So, Claire, can you see? I am way behind here. Let's see.
Yeah, that's okay. We have from a poet, Brian Lucas, joining us from Central Arkansas. We have Hawaii, Megan D.
Good. We got Love Your Name from Wisconsin. Another one from Wisconsin here.
Nice. Oh yeah, and let's see here. Yeah, we're getting ready here, so I didn't mark a whole bunch of them.
Oh, there's a bunch starred. If you just go into the starred, there's a bunch in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, perfect. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been on it.
We have Tracy Hobart. Hello from Just Wyoming. Nice. Thank you for joining us. And then we have Camilla Bredel Peterson. Hello from Norway. Nice.
Norway's in the house. Wow. Good. It says, hello, good evening, dudes and dudettes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Did you see this one from Shelley too?
No.
No, where?
Oh, look at this one.
Click it.
Middle of the Atlantic on a cruise ship.
Wow.
Nice.
That is wild.
You're tuning in.
That's
Thank you
really
for being
cool.
With us.
I hope it must be one of these new cruise ships. It's got the fancy satellite.
Internet, right? Yeah, satellite. Wow. Well, Clearwater Chad is in the house. Hi, Clearwater Chad.
I tuned down on the live he was doing a while back, and he was at a waterfall. He was doing a waterfall live. He was literally just walking around by a waterfall. And I was like,
oh, okay.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Los Angeles, California, all over the place. And so just thank you, everyone. Texas, Massachusetts. Nice for everyone to be here. Thank you so much. So, Perth, Australia. Okay. So, honey.
Go for it.
That's all. Okay.
Oh, they got some feisty going on tonight.
Yeah. Oh, hit me so hard.
We're not the only ones.
Dude. We'll talk about it at the Battered Husband Shelter later in the week.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's our place of solace, our safe space.
Yes. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do our week in review. So let's see. It's going to go like this. And we are going to add this to the stream. A week in review.
Look at this fancy pantses.
Yeah. And it should say 27 September, but that doesn't matter. So this week I did 3 chapters of my book. Scientology Abuse at the Top. That covered the LSD purification pilot, torture, the running program, torture, and my final trip to the RPF. I will never again in this life, after 4 trips to the RPF, go to the RPF again.
Yay.
And yes. And so I have one final chapter to do, and that's our escape and getting restarted in the world. And so I need to do that this week, as well as I'll cover the profile of a sociopath, which is an addition to my book that I have included. So I'll do that as well. And then that'll finish this book. And the next thing that we're going to do, or that I'll be reading, is the Little Dicky bedtime stories that we wrote. There's about 15 of those that Matt wrote and I edited back when we were still under the radar. So we'll be doing that.
Nice.
Next is I did 2 videos with Laura FM, and yesterday it was with Jeff Hawkins, which was wonderful. And it's just helping to fill in, stories about her parents and other people who were at the base. And, I just have such a heart for Laura and people like her that have lost their family because of Scientology, and I want to help. And it actually gets me seriously choked up when I talk about it, because disconnection is, like Mark said, and describes it as the kryptonite of Scientology. And anyway, anything I can do to fight that, I will. So I did 2 lives with her on that. Matt and I did a live together. We covered a lot of things in that live, and there was an amazing amount of feedback on that. And so many people, and this could get me seriously choked up, but so many people have reached out to us asking if we could find out anything about their loved ones. Yeah. So if you don't think that there's interest in what family members are doing inside Scientology, then you got another thing coming, because there is so many people reaching out saying, is there anything that you can do to find out what is happening with my loved one that I haven't spoken to for 7 years, 11 years?
Yeah. No, I know. You guys, we've since my book came out, we've been getting emails and letters and phone calls for, since 2009 about people saying, hey, I used to work here. Do you know anything about this person? And sometimes we would know, and we would tell them a lot, like a lot of family members from Sea Org members that worked at the base. I mean, what do you say, Claire? Like maybe 30 to 40 different family members that have over the years?
Yeah, I'd say more than that. And
it's a lot.
And it's also fair to say, too, at this point, the Aftermath Foundation is gaining so much momentum that at this point we are helping at least one person, if not multiple people, get out of Scientology on a weekly basis. So
that's correct. And I don't think that there's a better cause going on right now, honestly, in my view, because that place is such a destructive cult, and we're going to get to more of that in a little bit. Another video that I did was to acknowledge my friend Ursula Caberta. Now, Ursula is a pioneer. She's an icon. She worked in the government for decades, and she's still doing the work to educate people on the destructive cult of Scientology, and to help families get restarted who leave Scientology and need the resources to be able to do it, and reconnecting people with their families. I wanted to acknowledge her because, she's just been doing this for decades. I love her dearly. I went to Hamburg, and when I was there, Mark was there too. We went together and went shopping for Depeche Mode CDs and albums.
Oh yeah, you came with me one time.
I came with you. You drugged me through the music stores.
Yeah, I went on 2 different occasions, and the first time was that one where when
with
we
Jason
went.
Begay.
Yeah, when Jason Begay of Chicago PD fame, him and I went there, and we had Secret Service. We had like the presidential's Secret Service, were the people that were watching us and keeping us safe, so that if Scientology tried to do something or yell or make a scene, we would be secured, and they wouldn't even get anywhere near us. And And so when we went to the hotel one afternoon early, like after a conference or something, I went out the back door of the hotel so that I could go to the record store and get some Depeche Mode records. And when I walked back in, I forgot when I came back. And when I walked past them on the way in, they were like, dude, what the hell? And so the next morning, first thing, Ursula was like, hey, the security guys told me that you ditched them and you went somewhere. I was like, I had to get some Depeche Mode records. I'm sorry.
It's so funny that was the first time that you went, because I was there with you on the second time. And I said, no, the second time is when you went and got Depeche Mode, right? And he goes, no, I go every time I go anywhere.
Yeah. I was like, we went on a trip to Boston a few weeks ago. I picked up a bunch of records. I mean, hey, come on.
We just connected with an old friend, and they happened to mention, they have a record store. So of course, the very first thing Mark did was went and cashed out all their Depeche Mode inventory.
I did. I literally went and I checked it against my collection, my catalog numbers, and I was like, yes. And they were like, hey, I want to make sure you know that these are vinyl. They're not CDs. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm all about, is the vinyl. So
that's awesome.
But yes, we had a lot of fun with Ursula. She was amazing. And she, not a lot of people know this about Ursula, but she uses Scientology's own policies against them when she's trying to help them, when she's trying to help a person who's left, or, and she'll say, hey, this person wants 50,000 euros back. And this policy says that they've done everything and you need to send them a check. And and they don't know what to do with her. And she says, should I come over there to get it, or are you going to mail it? How are we doing this? And then they just mail them a check.
She had ultimate ethics presence in Germany. I'm telling you.
She did.
They come and they would run. Yes. And so, by the way, she was so touched with your message to her and Mike Rinder's message to her, which thank you for doing that. I wanted to include that in the video to her. And anyway, she was just very touched about that. The other thing that she wrote to me, and I'll probably do a separate video about, is there was a full feature movie made in Germany all about Scientology. And she's like, "What? I wonder when Hollywood will ever do something like this." But it was really popular in Germany. And I watched it with no subtitles, and I knew exactly what was happening.
Yep.
It had the disconnection, the RPF, it had everything in there. And it was literally a Hollywood movie done in Germany, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Not made by Hollywood, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so she sent that to me, and we'll probably do something about that. Maybe I can get it subtitled or something like that, and we can play it on one of our channels or something.
Totally.
I want to put that out because that would be amazing. Okay, so then on your side, so that was 7 videos that I did on my channel this last week. So I was very busy.
7?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, she's overachievers. Holy moly.
That is not my normal for sure at all, but yeah, that's what I did.
Amy's putting up errand numbers now. She's like, yep, I'm gonna do 7 videos.
Yeah, that's not my normal, but that's what this week I'll be doing. I'll finish my book, and Matt and I will probably do another live too, just because of the demand to see my husband. So, oh my God. Okay, so on your side, I love that picture.
Yeah, we got a good picture of Mitch, and we got a pic. It was the facial hair episode. Well, it was any hair for Mitch's sake, but because he had a mustache and a full head of hair.
Yes.
But I say in the video, but I had just played Jesus earlier that day in a photo shoot. I was, for anybody who wants to know, and whenever they needed a Jesus in Scientology for a photo or film, I was him, supposedly. I just had that kind of body back then. But,
that kind of body. But I got to say, so you did 2 videos with him this last week. I just put one of the thumbnails up, but this one was about internal film explains why Scientology cover up crimes. I need to see that. I need to see that. So if anyone hasn't seen these videos, pop over and see those. This is really good documentation of the history of what went on in there. So that was really, really good. Another one of Claire's videos, which is Where is Shelley, was done this week with Dylan Gill. Want to tell us about that, Claire?
Yes. So Dylan is actually a third generation Scientologist. He has a channel on YouTube just starting up, which is at Blow Drill. And he was in the Sea organization for many years, worked at the Church of Spiritual Technology, CST, which is where we believe Shelley is currently being held captive. So this was part 1 with Dylan, and part 2, hopefully, if all goes as planned, will come out next week. We just got to the point where we're now in depth talking about his personal interactions with Shelley Miscavige. So, yep, lots more good stuff to come.
Excellent. Okay, and then this video, of course, this was about elder abuse with Mike Brown. And this is one of the biggest reveals about what's going on inside Scientology to date. So, Claire, go ahead and let us know about that. I'm going to make it so you can see you.
Yes. So, of course, this was part 1 of Rosemary Brown Chickwalk's story. Oh my gosh. I mean, the depths of this, it's layer upon layer upon layer of abuse, insanity, and just destruction by Scientology of elder people's lives. Credit card fraud, elder abuse, elder neglect. And shout out to Mike Brown for coming on. He's started his YouTube channel as well, where he'll be sharing more. But his channel is at Mike Brown 101. We'll link to it in the video description. But I know he's already on his way to 2,000 subscribers, which is amazing. He deserves, I mean, what a voice to add to SPTV. And you couldn't, I mean, Rosemary Brown, we all have memories of this woman. She is the sweetest, kindest lady you ever met in the Sea organization, and the abuse she suffered is absolutely horrific. And I'm just so grateful that Mike, obviously figured out how to insert himself back into her life despite Scientology's attempts to sabotage that, and that we were able to help him get Rosemary to safety.
I cannot wait till you guys get to the next part. And say how and who. That is the biggest, it may be the biggest middle finger ever sent to Scientology when they reveal who rescued her. It's amazing.
Yes.
And that's tomorrow night live, right? At 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m.
Eastern
Mountain.
time.
Yes, that's right.
I'm blown for good.
It's going to simulcast. Actually, I think we're going to try and simulcast on Mike's channel, Mike Brown, Mike Rinder, and Blown for Good all simultaneously. That's our goal.
Oh, great.
That'd be great.
I'll download that first one and get it to Mike so he can put that up too if he hasn't already.
I think he already has.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I've been playing it all day on his channel.
Oh, well then he definitely has.
That is
just trying to help.
That is really awesome.
When she said that, do you mind if I just tell you a real quick thing, Amy? Because she just mentioned a thing that reminded me. So this last week, or actually 2 weeks ago now, we were contacted. Well, we knew somebody. I'm gonna try to keep it as vague as possible. We knew somebody through a business relationship, and we were gonna go do something at a place that had to do with their business. And I said, hey, don't you know somebody over at that place maybe that we could get a hookup or something? And she goes, yeah. And then she says, she's actually the owner. And I was like, oh, the owner? Oh, well, we'll definitely email her. Anyway, Claire emailed her and said, hey, we're going to go do this thing. We just wanted to let you know we were coming in case there's anything we could get a little extra set up for us. And she emailed us back. This is the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And she emailed us back and she said, oh my God, I watch you guys every single night. I am the biggest fans of SPTV. Now, this is a person that we knew through a business. And even though Claire and her knew each other, they never spoke about anything like this. And this woman had watched the Aftermath series. She'd listened to the podcast she watches. And she told us that every night she can't sleep without the TV on. She told us that she goes through her house at night and turns on all the TVs and puts them on SPTV playlists so they play all night long to get the watch hours. And I was right. And so then we ended up going to a dinner at her house just a few nights ago. And the amount of I don't want to say, I mean, this woman is a firecracker and she's an amazing person. And she might be one of the most successful individuals that I know who built something from scratch. But the fact that she was watching SPTV just blew my mind, that we don't know who's out there watching this thing. And she has a lot of resources that would be amazing for us to be able to tap into. And she was essentially rolling out the red carpets for us, saying, I want to do this, and I could do this, and she was naming all the things that she could do for us, for SPTV. And it was just amazing. And it was just amazing to see the kind of people and why they're watching and all that sort of thing. But when she then we went to the house for dinner, and we were walking around the house, and she literally has like probably 9 TVs in this house. And when I talked to her boyfriend, when she introduced me to her boyfriend, he goes, "Oh, the people from the TVs at night." He literally said that as we were shaking hands. "Oh, it's the people from the TVs in the middle of the night." He's like, "Dude, if I have to get up to take a leak at 3 a.m., you're on 3 TVs. Anyway, but it was hilarious. But anyway.
And to be clear, I hadn't talked to this woman in like 7 years. And and like Mark said, she and I never talked about any of this. It was a completely different setting. It was a professional business setting. And she said she had figured out who I was, but just never mentioned it. And then, of course, since then, all kinds of things have happened. And this SPTV movement has just, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I know we are gaining momentum. And
big time.
Absolutely no question about that.
Yeah, no question. And the volume of people writing in show the interest. I mean, it's hundreds. Like, I'm sorry if I don't get to everybody's messages. It's crazy. And I'm sure if that's happening to me, it's like twice or 4 times, because you have 4 times the amount of people on your channel writing to you guys. So
yes, I know. Same. I apologize to anyone if I haven't responded to your email. I do see most of them, except when I find out that a new thing we did was landing them all in junk, and I'm catching up on all of that now. So yeah.
Yeah. I just want to acknowledge that we have several people in the chat, including Christy Colburn Rinder.
Yes, I started her comment. I was like, "Yay, Christy's in the house."
Yeah,
Christy
I just
Rinder
saw some.
Colburn, hello.
Yeah, I saw some flying through. Jeff Hawkins, Mark Fisher. Who else was in there? A bunch of people.
You said Jeff Hawkins.
Laura FM.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Laura FM. Liz Ferris, I saw.
is in here. So,
and of course,
anyway.
the one and only amazing Goldie, who is always by our side, helping us in the most amazing way. Speaking of which, by the way, we'll get to it, but we have something special for today. Yes, there we go. And you can show Goldie support and send a thank you. Buy Goldie a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at Goldie862. Where would we be without Goldie? Oh my goodness. I know I've talked to her. I've seen her. I know who she is. But still we cannot figure out how she has the capacity to do the things she does.
I was working, and every channel I had a little window open, and it would show me whenever somebody was live. And if somebody was live, I'd just click over and I'd click on the channel, maybe pop in the chat for a second. And every single live that I tuned into, somehow Goldie was on every single one. And I thought, I still think that she's AI, I'm telling you, or she's doing something.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's just put this up real quick.
Yeah.
Goldie
Oh,
says
Goldie.
this is the right link. Goldie's Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh, at
.com.
KMO. I was going to say it said Goldie 862. This one is just come off a cup of koof. She should call herself SP Goldie on there. She'd probably that'd be easy to find her.
Yeah.
Goldie
But
never
that's
sleeps.
good. Thank you. I'll come back to this video and get the right link and put it up there because I'm going to use that more than once.
Perfect. Yes, us too.
Yeah.
I've been trying to add it to our video descriptions and
yeah.
yes, Goldie is amazing. Thank you for
Share
everything
the
you do,
love.
Goldie. Yep.
Yeah. So the next thing on our week in review is the quote of the week. And I picked one about human rights. This is from the United Nations Charter from 1945. It says, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act toward one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. Scientology, you should probably M9, M4, M2 star rate check out that that quote from it's human rights that they're violating nonstop.
Yes.
With tax exempt money.
I know.
Yeah, we're
Drives
subsidizing
me-
it even.
Yeah.
Oh my God, drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
It drives us all crazy.
And then the YouTube comment of the week, I picked on Claire and Mark's channel, Blown for Good channel. And obviously it starts with this one. There's two here. So it starts with this one, which is from Mike Brown. And it says, and it's pinned by Blown for Good at the top of his video. And it says, I just want to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who took time out of their day to sit through this story. Your support is truly amazing. Change will only happen when the crimes and abuse are exposed. I am calling for change. Hear, hear.
Nice.
Here,
Yeah, I
that
saw
gives
that.
me goosebumps. Seriously.
I know. I saw that
just
Mike wrote
amazing.
that, and I pinned it. I was like,
And
oh
you
yeah,
pinned
that's the comment for that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I'm going to read the next comment, which is from a subscriber on your channel who gets to win one of your awards. And that is going to be Jazzy. So what does it say here? It says,
Do you want me to
Jazzy.
read it?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, Jazzy J 5703. I needed a bit of time to respond after watching. I've long lived with the belief that humanity is indeed judged by how it treats the most vulnerable, which includes children and the elderly. Amazing to me that we live in what is to be a progressive first world country, and yet this type of horrific intentional abuse is allowed to go unchecked under the veil of religion. I consider myself a religious person, and thus these stories continue to pierce my heart. We often get asked what superpower we would like to have, and I've come to believe it is compassion, kindness, and love, as those superpowers are all we have to make any change. Mike and his family are blessed to have this time together. Hopefully, every day will lead to more healing connections. Amazing.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, Jazzy J in the house. Oh,
I know, I
you're
just saw
making
that.
me cry. You made us cry, Jazzy J. So you win our comment of the week. You're welcome to either a signed book, a Mike Rinder bobblehead, an SP bracelet, or something from the merch store of your choosing. Please email me, claire@blownforgood.com. And thank you for being here and contributing in a very meaningful way. We are grateful to everybody here.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay. And so let's see what else I have going on here. The next thing is just a brief little show and tell. So I don't know if you had anything, Claire. I forgot to ask you.
No, that's okay. I don't think no, I'm good for this week. I'm sure I
Okay.
do. I'm sure I do.
I'm
but
gonna get something.
Oh yeah, Mark
You are?
does. Mark does.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm gonna show it here. But
Okay. And I do have something, but I want Mark to be here when
We have a
when
very important update, and
Oh,
yes.
good. Good. Let's do that.
sorry. Oh god, I jammed up everything. I was supposed to get up one. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, I'm gonna make it so I can see what's going on here. This is a little doll, and we got a bunch of these in, guys. We only had one up until now.
Yeah, and so while Mark gets that out, I'll just say we're sending one of these out to the SPTV channels that we know their address. If you'd like one to help us promote this, then please shoot me an email, claire@blownforgood.com. I'll stop talking so Mark can have the screen back.
You can talk while you show him.
Okay.
Always show him.
Yes, and so this guy is very.
It looks good that way.
Spooky.
He's so this is going to be called everything that you guys asked for. So in the SP shop, there's going to be just listing after listing after listing, and it's going to be the same doll, but we're going to call it every single name that everybody asked for. Little Baby Davy, Captain Poopy Pants, Captain Chucklesworth, whatever you wanted, they're all going to be there. Okay,
yes.
now this is the thing, though.
That's smart.
We don't want the fans that watch the channel, we want to get these, okay? We don't want, like, Aaron's going to do a video. He's going to talk about these. They're going to get sold out in 1 minute. So what we're going to do is if you're signed up as a volunteer or a donor for the Aftermath Foundation, you're going to get an email. Or if you've signed up for the newsletter on the Aftermath Foundation, you're going to get an email with a link saying these are now on sale before we do anybody else. And excuse me. And then we're going to wait like a week. And then whoever's gotten them in a week, they got them. And then we'll announce, we'll put them up on the channel and we'll share the links and all that good stuff. And we have I want to say we have about 2,500 of them, maybe a little bit plus or minus. We've got to see how they all turn out.
Officially, this is limited edition Captain Davy Poopy Pants, Troll of the Hoe, and all of those names.
Somebody wanted, some little kid, I think it was a kid, or I can't remember who it was. Somebody wanted to call it Davy the Fart Elf. So I was like, sure, Davy the Fart Elf. I'll take that. I'll take that for 100. I'll take Davy the Fart Elf for 100, Alex.
For 100.
Anyway, so we have them. We have everything we need. We're gonna be packaging them. This is like a Headley family adventure where all the boys, we have 3 boys, all the boys and us, we go to my shop and we package up all these guys. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a Christmassy kind of thing. So that's why we wanted to get them a little bit before that the holiday season. But so yeah, those are the ways you can get kind of like pre-notified. Otherwise, you'll find out on Twitter or X and YouTube and Facebook and all the other places where we'll post links. But
yes, and to reiterate, all the proceeds will be going directly to the Aftermath Foundation, which just seems perfectly fitting and wonderful.
Yes, and if it does well, we may make a St. Patrick's one. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Oh, I'm glad we're having some fun with that.
Oh, yes.
So last week I talked about the story about Christmas and where my husband at the time, we got married on my 17th birthday, and he asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and it was a light bright, right? Did you hear about that story?
Yes,
okay.
I saw these light bright comments, and I thought, what is this coming from? Then I saw it, and I was like, oh my goodness, 17.
Well, I got to tell you, we ended the live that night. I woke up in the morning, and I had something at my door, and it was a light bright from one of our subscribers, Linda, who is just so amazing. Yeah, it's on the shelf right behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but
my goodness.
probably if I
Oh yeah,
stayed up all night playing with it.
Is it does it work and everything?
Right in the box.
Wow.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
She's just so that's my little show and tell. She's just anyway. Can you imagine? I mean, she overnighted the thing to get it to me, so I would open the door in the morning, and there it was. Anyway,
that's insane.
It reminded me of home. She sends me all kinds of things because she said for all the times you didn't receive anything when you were in the Sea Org, she sends me all these wonderful things. She's just like, she's so lovely. Anyway, she's right there saying, LOL. Well, thank you. Thank you, honey.
Nice.
Lots of love to you.
And by the way, I just wanted to say too, on that topic, There was somebody who watched the video, the live yesterday with Mike Brown and Mike Rinder and I regarding Rosemary's story. And today they went to the Blown for Good merch store and made a donation of $100 for flowers for Rosemary, which I thought was just such an incredible, beautiful gesture. And so I took care of the logistics, and they're getting delivered tomorrow. So
Great.
So wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Finally, I just want to make a plug for subscribing to each of our channels. At Queen BSP is mine. You can search for Amy Scobie or just at Queen BSP and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And Blown for Good. And one of the reasons why we're doing this live with all of us together is because we promised once I hit 10,000 subscribers that we would do a live together, and I did. So that was really wonderful. So thank you all for subscribing.
Yes.
And
Claire told me, she said, you're going to join us on Wednesday. And I said, okay. And she goes, Amy said when she hits 10,000, I'm like, how far is she away? And they're like, no, she's there. She already passed. We did the fundraiser. She was already at 10,000. I was like, oh, so I can't get out of it, huh? I got to do it.
You better not want to get out of it.
Oh, and by the way, as long as we're making a plug for subscribers over at Blown for Good, we are 4 subscribers away from hitting our next 1,000 subscriber milestone giveaway.
43,996.
Yes.
Oh, get it.
So remember to get on over and subscribe, and then comment on this video if you'd like to be considered for the Book Me giveaway. There you go.
Yeah, we've been giving away, every 1,000 subscribers, we give away a book.
Yep,
Every 1,000.
I have a spreadsheet that documents it all. So whoever the YouTube people are, I mean, I'm just kidding. If we get audited, we'll pass that audit too.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it on, right? Oh, well, that was our week in review. Again, I just want to thank Mike Brown for coming forward with his story. It's so powerful, and it is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's just the beginning. And there is a runaway freight train because a lot is going to be done about the abuse of elders, child abuse, as well as financial and disconnection, the whole slew of crime cover-up. Just come on, name it. It's going to be boiling right to the surface. And David Miscavige should be really worried because he's running the most corrupt organization that could possibly be imagined.
Yes, completely. And speaking of which, Leah Remini and Mike Rinder did a 2-part interview with Rachel Hastings, which is absolutely must listen. Absolutely.
Wow.
Didn't she say that David Miscavige had to have a non-gay makeup and hair person?
$10,000 a day.
$10,000 a day. Okay, for
day.
each of his, like, for his events, for his photo shoots, for his ribbon cuttings. So it's not like he just did that once. It's continuous.
Yep.
So
That's
taxpayer money.
That's Beyonce's hair person. He has the same hair person as Beyonce.
No.
Yes.
It's my hair guy too.
Yeah.
It's fired. Totally fired.
Amy, you need to switch over to Matt's hair guy, evidently. Not because of today. I'm just talking about the thing from a few weeks ago when my
Rebecca,
hair
shaved.
No, Rebecca G was 50K or 44K.
Oh,
44K.
Wow. Okay, Rebecca G, there you go. You win our subscriber giveaway just by virtue of that.
There you go.
Shoot me an email, claire@blownforgood.com.
Yeah,
and we will send you a signed book.
I keep reminding people of this. It's free to subscribe to our channel. You don't have to pay anything. When they call it subscription, a lot of people think they have to pay. It's free to subscribe. You don't have to. There's no fee involved.
You just punch that subscribe button. That way you get notified whenever a video is done, and that way you can be in the know right away.
Yes,
not
absolutely.
miss anything.
Okay, so I have one thing to add before we get into our topic of the week. We actually have a surprise for tonight. We have a special sponsor, which is the SPTV merch provider known as Fourth Wall. Many of us SPTV channels use Fourth Wall, and Fourth Wall reached out to us to see if we would like to, if they could sponsor our live tonight, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, they said we could do 4 giveaways and that they would cover it.
So we're calling this the Goldie giveaway, just to make it fun. And how this will work is we're going to, every 15 minutes, I'll tell you the next person that's the winner of the giveaway. And that person just needs to go to the Blown for Good merch store and select anything up to $25. Send me the link, Claire@blownforgood.com, and we will provide you a giveaway link. Pretty cool, right?
Oh, that is so awesome. Awesome.
And Goldie picked these 4 winners.
Yes.
So that's why it's the Goldie giveaway.
That's why it's
the
Goldie giveaway. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can do anything else that we want to tonight, but this is just an added fun shout out. Fourth Wall has been amazing to work with. Literally, everything about their platform we love. We really like the capacity to be able to do the video cameos that we've been doing to speak to the people that are supporting the merch store directly. It's just been amazing. So so
they make it easy. They make it easy. Yeah,
yes,
I love that.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, at some point early on when we were just switching over to Fourth Wall, one of the channels had applied and they denied it because it's they're pretty selective on who they choose. And I sent them this whole long email explaining the whole concept of the SPTV organic community that is exploding. And they changed, they listened and they heard us and they changed their approach and they accepted it. So I was like, yes, these are
that's fantastic.
Great people.
Yeah, any of the SPTV channels that are monetized, I think that's all you have to be is monetized in order to qualify for Fourth Wall. And if you try to sign up and they don't approve you, then let us know and we'll reach out to Fourth Wall. We have a person there that we can just email and tell them, hey, could you do this for this person? And they'll just set it up. So
yes,
it's a good setup.
It is great.
And if there's any questions, they have customer service people who answer instantaneously, like as if you're writing to your friend.
We haven't had any complaints so far. Everything's knock on wood. But all the stuff, the shirts are comfy, the sweaters, the hoodies, all that stuff. It's all awesome. So
yes. So with that, I'm going to announce our first. Oh yeah, look, here we go.
Wow,
SBTV
nice.
with the crackers.
Yes. So with that, I'm going to announce our first Goldie giveaway of the evening. Someone who is a pillar of the SPTV community. Congratulations to @From a Poet, Brian Lucas. You win the first Goldie giveaway. So there you go. Send me an email, Claire@blownforgood.com with your selection of merch from the Blown for Good merch store. Anything up to $25. There you go.
Good. Okay, everyone. So now we're going to get into the topic of the week, which is shortcuts and hacks to get around the rules. Because, it's really, really hard to live in the Sea Org. When you try to abide by the rules all the time, as I did, I got in trouble anyway, but when you're going to hear what Matt did, it's shocking. I get mad about it. Like, why did I follow all the rules? How did you get away with any of this? He was kicked off the base 1983, 84. In the early 80s, he was kicked off the int base by David Miscavige because of being worker oriented, because he didn't think that keeping the crew up day and night for like 3 weeks straight was smart for doing construction work, right? And so he was kicked off the base, and he said he did a happy dance in the parking lot.
For real. No, I was so happy to go to the RPF. They said, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Clearwater or you want to go to Los Angeles? And I was familiar with Los Angeles. So I said, I go to Los Angeles. And they said, good, you're going to Clearwater.
Yeah.
But I
So
figured I'd go to the
typical.
RPF. I'll have a chance to at least learn how to use an e-meter and get some kind of auditing and stuff. Because I was there at the, property for 5 years. I never even went to study. I was just working around the clock.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
we're going to, yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry, Amy. I just wanted to preface this section with the fact that Mark told me right before we started here, he was like, "Well, Matt and I are going to be telling the stories, right? Because you guys were rule followers." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, hold on just a minute. I can shed some light where you might not have seen light shone."
Yeah, we want to see that side of you, Claire.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you got a couple doozies. Go ahead and
Well,
tell.
I'll tell the first one I did, which
Yeah.
was I was brand new to the Sea Org, and the recruiter had told me I would get $80 pay each week, right? So I get to the pack base, and they're giving out pay, and everybody's opening an envelope, and it's $2, like literally $2. I mean, I was making like $100 a day clam digging in Long Island, And anyway, when they gave me a post, and I did that post, and then they wanted to make me the Treasury Secretary of what they were starting this org called the Pack Estates Renovations Org. And I said, well, I'll do that, but I get Saturday off no matter what. It doesn't matter what my stats are. You give me Saturday off because I'm getting a job on the outside. And they approved it. And every Saturday I had a job on the outside. I was making $80 every Saturday.
He's like the only person in the entire Sea Org that was allowed to happen.
Yeah, he told me
Like,
he was
that's
selling
crazy.
snow cones at Venice Beach.
Yes. I was getting 10 cents a snow cone, selling them for 50 cents. And I was doing over 800 a day. So I would
Wow.
get $80 selling snow cones. So that's when minimum wage was $2.
Wow.
Wow,
That
that's
is so
crazy. Crazy.
When I was
Yeah.
when I was at the Ant Bays, you have to every week, and I'll put this up here right now because it's so you guys can understand. Every week in the Sea organization, depending on your statistics, so like for me, I was checking cassettes, so I would have to check more cassettes this week than I checked last week, and if I checked less, then I would be in a condition that was down, and if I checked more, I'd be in a condition that was up. And depending on what condition you were in, these are all written up by L. Ron Hubbard. Depending on which condition you were in, you'd have to do a different formula for that item. So this is one of those things. So this is the formula for the condition of non-existence, and it says find a comm line. That just means find a communication line, someone you can talk to. Make yourself known. Discover what is needed or wanted. Do, produce, and or present it. Okay, so you then, if your statistic matches the graph, matches what would be considered non-existence, then you have to write up a whole write-up, and it says non-existence, Mark Hadley, this post, and then you write the first step, find a comm line, and then you do like a little paragraph about that. Anyway, they have these for every possible statistic, whether it's up for a while, they have non-existence, they have danger. If it's really crashed, you have to do danger. And then they have emergency. So if it's just down a little bit, then that would be emergency. And then they have normal. So if it's just up a little bit and it's continuing to go up a little bit, that's normal. And each of them has all these dumb steps that you got to do with it. Anyway, and so every single week in the Sea organization, depending on what your statistic is for that week, you have to do one of these write-ups. Yeah. And I would see people sitting there and at their desk writing, find a comm line. And then they write this whole thing. Anyway, I'm like, we got 1 billion years on the clock here, folks. We need to cut down. we need to get more efficient. We need to spend less time doing these condition formulas. So what I would do is I had access to a word processor that was for like printing off labels for the cassettes or whatever. And I wrote up a formula. And every time I wrote up a formula, I'd be like, okay, good. Danger, save. Okay. If you're going to do normal, save. Okay. And there's lower conditions, and then there's those ones I just went. There's probably, let's say like 10 altogether, something like that. 10.
Probably.
around there, 10 different ones. Anyway, so I had 10 different files for each one of those conditions. And so no matter what was going on or no matter what was happening, it was like everybody after, I think it was on Friday, right? At the end, no, Thursday. It was Thursday afternoon. In Scientology, the weekend's at Thursday at 2:00. And after that,
just randomly.
Yeah, you got to you count up all your widgets that you did that week or whatever your job was. By 2:00, it's cut off. There's no. It's like that. That's the finish line. Nothing else can count for that week past Thursday at 2. And in the Sea Org, if somebody gave you $1 at 2:01 and you counted it on that week, that's it. Off with your head. You cannot. That's called false report. What's it called? Falsifying. Stat push or falsifying stats.
Called many things. Criminal.
None of them good.
Don't even let me tell you about time zones and how the Sea Org members would get around time zones. They'd be like, wait a minute. If somebody gives me $1 now in New York, it doesn't count. But what if somebody gives me $1 in Hawaii? It's still 11 o'clock there, whatever it is. Anyway, so these bozos all around me would be writing every week their whole thing. And it would be like, hey, it's time to do your report. I'm like, oh, it's already done, babe. I just print that baby right off. And so for 15 years, I did that. I never wrote one original formula. I would change the date.
Oh my God.
And I would maybe spice up that first paragraph to make it something that was sort of like what happened last week, but I would make it so general that it could apply to any week that happened in the 15 years that I was there. And if I changed to a different job, I would literally just change the people and the places in the paragraphs to match the new job. Oh, copy paste king. No, not even copy paste king. I just printed it. All I did was change the date. There wasn't a lot of copy pasting. But I thought that I was the only person doing this. And then I told this story to somebody and they were like, dude, I did the same thing every week too. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, so the dummies were the ones that didn't know how to use the computers because they were literally writing these things.
And writing it all out every
ridiculous.
single week. And there were people posted that were to make sure that every individual person applied the condition for their stats that week, So Mark would just hand them this cut and paste thing.
Oh, but see, that was the thing I realized early on when I first got to Golden Era Productions.
Yeah.
When you first get to an organization, you're what they call an expediter. So you're kind of just free to do whatever needs to be done by anyone. And as long as you're an expediter, usually you go to places that have like backlogs of something. Like what I did was I went to the ethics department, which is where, people get in trouble or not, or if you do something bad and you have to go, somebody has to like beat you through the conditions, all those things I listed. That's where you would go. But when I got there, they hadn't done the filing in like a year. And that's where all these reports go. When you write one of these things, you send it to them. Not only had they not filed them in a year, they hadn't read them in a year. So to me, I was like, oh, I could literally turn in the exact same piece of paper every single week and no one would ever know. And I bet you, hey, OSA, go get my file and look at the things. They're all exactly the same for 15 years. Only the dates are different, you bozos. Anyway, but
that is so funny.
But so when I realized, oh, no one's reading any of this stuff. And did you ever read people that worked for you? Did you read their whole thing?
I did.
Never.
Yeah, no, exactly. Amy's like, no, you get it. And you go, thanks. Okay, good. You write one? Yeah.
Well,
you read them, Claire?
They did it.
I had to, yeah.
You had to read them?
Yes, I did. And but more so for context, let's just put it this way. In Religious Technology Center, I'd have to have people do lower conditions. And there was this tiny little ethics room with a slidey door. I mean, you couldn't even reach out your arms. It was that small, like tiny little place where they would get interrogated and have to write up conditions and stuff. So they would have to, if you were really in trouble, you'd have to handwrite your conditions.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the lower conditions I did read. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I knew the copy and paste thing. I was clued into that. I'd done it a few times myself, and so you have to make sure that
even the rule followers just
well, the
throwing
rule
Hubbard
followers,
right under the bus. Nope, not doing it.
I mean,
Hubbard.
I had the weekly stat analysis in the Watchdog Committee. You had to do a stat analysis for every sector that you had, and then do a condition based on that. So that I had totally in the computer.
And if this was every single week, people talk about the worst micromanagement in the universe.
Totally. Yeah. And most of the battle plan for the condition write-up didn't get done. So you just copy pasted the last week's stuff and maybe updated the date, and that was it. Otherwise you can't go to bed. You're already up all night and you're just
that's what I'm saying. It's like where I worked, we were making widgets. So that we were actually making cassettes, but if you weren't making cassettes, then that was going to be 50 cassettes that just wouldn't get made. So
so you're going to be downstat writing up your condition.
Every minute was precious. Like, I did not. There was every second you were away, and where I was, the machines could make the copies while we were eating, but I couldn't check the copies while we were eating. So we would literally start a run to start copying, and it'd go for 45 minutes. And so as soon as it would start, we would leave, go eat. And when we get back, it would just be finishing. And then it was like, okay, time to check it. But now I wasn't there checking that whole time. So now I'm already an hour behind. So
I put up this comment from Blow Drill, which is our good friend Dylan Gill.
Yes.
Says it was the same for battle plans. A lot of times it would just get cut and pasted.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So that was the other thing that you would write is you'd write your condition, and then you'd write a battle plan for the week. And exactly what he said. If there was something that you had to do more than once, just copy paste that pig. Just change the date. No one's checking anything.
What did you do?
I'll give you a quick story. I was over in the Czech Republic doing a recruit tour, and I was with Peter Erday.
Which I have a picture of.
Yeah, he's a Hungarian, and he was telling me that he hadn't seen his mother since he joined the Sea Org over 10 years. And she was going to be alone for Christmas, and she just lived by herself in a little apartment there outside Budapest. So I said, well, we're going to go see it. That's not okay. We're going to take off and go see your mom for Christmas. And he's going, we'll never get that approved. And I said, that's right. We'll never get it approved. What we're going to do is I wrote daily reports for the next 3 days, and I gave it to the person that sends the telexes to flag. And I said, release this one on Monday, send this one on Tuesday, send this one on Wednesday. Man, we surprised his mom. She was so flipped out. She set out a whole Christmas dinner for us. And there you see with me.
You hadn't seen her in how long?
Over 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, so she poured me this liquor in a glass when I got there. She was so happy, and it tasted like, she made it in the tub in the closet or something like that. Real super strong, right? And she says in Hungarian something to Peter. And I said, what is she saying, Peter? She said, I'm going to knock this American on his ass. we had a lot of fun. It was great.
Amazing.
You can see how happy she is there.
That's such a good story, Matt.
That's so amazing. Oh my
Peter's
gosh.
out of the Sea Organization, which is good. He used to be like a Olympic UFC judo fighter.
Yeah. He went to the Olympics as a second, like a backup.
Yeah. Tell him story about you guys traveling through Europe together.
Oh, there's lots of stuff. I mean, we were told one night that we were supposed to go to Warsaw in Poland. So we get on a train, and the way it works, you get on a train in the afternoon, and you can be in Warsaw the next day from the Czech Republic. So we're on this train. We're going. It's nighttime. We're going across looks like the tundra. It's all snow. Like as far as you can see, these flat plains, and the train has like maybe 6-7 cars tied to the main engine. Anyway, it stops in the middle of nowhere. There's this little tiny shed there, and it stops, and
you can't see anything.
You can't see. It's freezing cold, and the conductor gets out, and he tells us to get out of the car. He starts detaching all the cars, and we go to get back in our little car because there's only one tied to the engine now, and it's locked. And he says, and he's probably about 50 years old. He's drunk as you could be. And he's trying to tell us that he's not going to let us get back into that car unless we give him $20 American. Well, I don't have any American money on me, and I'm thinking different scenarios, and none of them very good for this guy. There ain't no way I'm going to be there freezing to death in the middle of Poland. I can tell you that. I would have tortured that guy to get that thing going. But anyway, Peter had $20 stuffed away in his wallet someplace, and we gave it to the guy, and he opened it up. We made our way to Warsaw. But
oh
my
goodness,
that's crazy. Crazy.
When we were at the base, there was a lot of times where the Scientology International headquarters were located in Gilman Hot Springs, California, which is kind of out where San Jacinto and Hemet are. But because we were making movies and we were shooting films, and even when I was in manufacturing and we needed tape, all these things had to be gotten from Los Angeles. And there was only set times during the day that you could send things from Los Angeles to the property and send things from the property to Los Angeles. But if you needed something picked up somewhere, you were kind of SOL. You'd have to figure out a way to get it from that place to the Hollywood Boulevard, the HGB, the Hollywood Guarantee Building, or it was a lot of logistics involved. So because I could drive, a lot of times I would go and get those things. And there weren't a lot of people where I work in any of the areas where I worked who could drive, had a license and had done car school and could drive a van, or I could drive any vehicle that Golden Era had. So I could, no matter what, I could get a vehicle. And when you drive to LA, it's sort of an open-ended trip because there could be traffic there and there could be traffic back. So an hour and a half to 2 hour trip could be 4 hours, and there and back could be 8 hours. So you could literally leave at breakfast to go get something in LA and come back at dinner, and it would be like, okay, you got it. Yeah, I got it. And it would be like, okay, good. And that's it. Because the people that don't drive, they don't know how driving works. So they have no idea. If you just say,
so no one's going to suspect.
Yeah, if you just say there was traffic, that's the end of it. They don't even know what traffic means. They're like, okay, that means it took longer. Yeah, it took 4 hours there and 4 hours back. And there's no way, there's no one that can go like, that's not true. So
it's not like they had Find My iPhone at that time.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they did it. Holy moly.
For many of these years, there was no way anyone could get a hold of you unless you called in. And then I think a little bit into the 90s, we were given pagers. If you worked for somebody, or if David Miscavige needed to get a hold of you, you got a pager so that you could be paged, and then you know based on the code, you got to go to a meeting. If it said 21, that means there's a meeting with Department 21, which is chairman of the board, Religious Technology Center. So if the code said 21, then you had to go. But during most of these times, there was no way for anybody to get a hold of me. So it's just like, peace out, we're going. But I remember one time I had to go get film, and it was also when a Depeche Mode album was going to be coming out. So there was a record store in Los Angeles that no matter what happened, if a Depeche Mode album came out, they would put 2 copies under the desk and put a little note on it saying, this is for Mark Headley. And no matter what, no matter where I was in the world, I would get those picked up and paid for and gotten to me somehow, some way. So, that it was just happened to be, it came out the week before, and we needed film for the shoot team. And so I had to get down there when Kodak would be open. And at this time, I think I actually had like a really, really old cell phone, the ones that flipped up, like a Motorola one that flipped up and had the antenna that pulled out. So I had the phone. They could call me all the time, full time. And the shoot crew didn't have film. So the film had to get there and then get back as soon as possible. So I made sure I went before, I think I had to leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get to LA before Kodak opened. But the record store was just a few blocks away. So I got the film, and then I went to the record store, and as soon as Kodak was open, they are calling me like, hey, you got to get it. You got to get it. You got it. I'm like, yeah. They got to open the doors, and, I got to walk in, these things take time. Because I'm trying to buy myself some time on the back end, because if I get the film right now and I don't get to the record store. So I got to make it seem like, I'm going to call you back in 15 minutes. I should have it. So the film is already sitting right there on the counter. I'm just going to take it and then walk and jet over to the record store. Anyway, I get to the record store. They have the copies there. I buy them. It's like $40. That's like, that's like a whole week's pay done, gone. And then I start driving back to the property, and it took me a little longer to get to the record store and to find parking and all this other stuff. But I'm still coming back, and I essentially am told, if you don't get here by a certain time, that's it. The shoot crew is going to get it's curtains for the shoot crew. So I'm driving like a maniac on the way back, and I get pulled over doing about 110. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Cause I can't, if you get a ticket in the Sea Org, you can't drive after that.
You can't.
And you have to pay for it. And you have to pay for it yourself.
And you have to get paid. You have to pay for the ticket. Do
you have Depeche Mode albums in your van?
It was, and this is the best part. They were on the dash because I had opened it and I was reading while I was driving. Okay, listen.
While he was driving 110 miles per hour,
I was in a cult. I didn't know any better. I was in a cult.
God.
I was driving 110, but while I was reading the gate, I was reading all the lyrics and looking at all the pictures and everything. Anyway, so I had it all open on the dash. The California Highway Patrolman, he walks up, and I'm just like, this is it. I'm dead. He looks up, and as soon as he walks up, it's a young guy. So I'm like, okay, well, at least it's a young guy. He's about my age. And I'm in my mid-20s at this time. He walks up, and I see that he clocks the Depeche Mode albums in the dash. And I'm like, oh boy. This is not going to be good. He's going to know that I was reading all that bullshit. And that's why and whatever. I don't even know what he saw, why he pulled me over. And he didn't say anything. He just goes, is that the new Depeche Mode album? And I go, yes, sir. And he goes, they don't have any copies anywhere around here. How'd you get that? And I said, I got the hookup. And he goes, could I get one for $20? And I said, absolutely. Oh, yeah. He gives me the $20. I give him the CD, the one that I haven't opened yet. I give him that one. And he walks back to his car and he gets in the car. And I'm like, what's he going to do? Is he going to give me a ticket? And I just drive off. And I get back to the base in time and we shoot and we all live happily ever after.
Saved by Depeche Mode.
Saved by the mode.
I'll give you a story. The public come to flag, and a lot of times they bring their toys with them. Like in some cases it's a truck or the Jeep, or in one case it was a big boat.
Yeah.
A yacht with, it had a red carpet, had black leather couches, it had stereo, like you could sleep 4 on it. It was sweet. And I got to take care of the boat. I also got to take care of a truck, also a Jeep. And what I would do is I would go down there during study time. I drive my little Jeep down there to the marina, because this thing was in a marina that you had to have a key to get into. And inside the marina, they had laundry, they had showers, they had the whole bit. And I would go fishing off the boat during my study time many times. And then when they would have the parties and stuff at Flag, which would be real slow, they got them like drink Kool-Aid or something instead of liquor. I would have parties on the boat. And a bunch of the guys would come down there. We would play poker and drink and just have a good old time. We did it many times with a lot of the guys that are execs still in the Sea Org right now. I won't say their names and get them in trouble, but they used to know to come down to my boat when there was a party.
And the person that you were watching the boat for was probably happy.
Yeah, he was happy because I was taking care of it. I keep the
that's what I'm saying. The boat was keeping nice. He didn't have to come back to it and be all smelly and mildewy. Right. No, it was getting used. It was nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was kept up.
Yeah, you used to sneak it. Tell them what you do at graduations. Everybody else was at or during the events where everybody had to attend the events.
At the events, you'd go to Ruth Eckert Hall, and the way those events go, you know how it is. Every 5 seconds, you got to do stand up and clap for like a half an hour, then you sit back down, and he'd say, we had sold more books than last year. Oh, everybody stand up and clap again, and it goes up and down. Well, I would stay behind where the overflow was in the Fort Harrison Auditorium, and you didn't have to do any clapping, you didn't have to stand up. It would be dark in there the whole time. I would sleep in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I always went to the events. I never went to Ruth Eckert Hall. I wasn't going to be
standing ovations every 2 seconds.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness! You know that.
What'd you do about the food?
Go ahead. No, go.
Graduations.
Yeah.
I kept a fishing pole in the garage. I had it hidden in the garage. So in graduation, I would grab my pole, and you can go right down, by the little drawbridge that was down there, which is just, you can walk from Fort Harrison. And I would go fishing there on Friday nights when I did graduation.
Everybody's supposed to muster up and report to graduation. And Matt's got a hidden fishing pole.
That's so awesome.
And it never comes up because it's not, he didn't consider it.
Oh, yeah.
You're just out of ethics to go fishing.
Yeah.
Oh, you reminded me of a good one. So you remember in the 80s or mid 80s, TVs were banned in the Sea Organization. And that was the first wave of it. I remember as a kid, because I was in the cadet org and we would watch TV, and then all of a sudden it was pretty much the only thing we could do other than like the manual labor they wanted us to do, which we hated. And then so they swept in and took away all the TVs. Anyway, when Mark and I got married in August 1992, we were in LA for 48 hours. That was our, which we're going to do a separate video about our wedding and all that, as we promised. Yeah. But either way, one of the things that we did is we got the LA Times classifieds and we went and bought a TV.
Yeah.
And then we had that TV. We just covered it with a tablecloth. Because
we had
not
a
a
plant.
TV. If
we
it
had
has...
a plant on top of it, and it had a tablecloth over it, so it just looked like a shelf that had a plant on it. And then and then when we would be like, okay, it's Friday. It would be like Friday at 2:00 in the morning, like, you want to watch a movie? And then we would turn.
And I would be
we'd have it really low, and then we'd and it was like a whole thing. But
I think at one
volume down.
At one point, we even got headphones that you could listen to wirelessly, super duper in advance of such a thing being a normal day-to-day
Well, just because I had access to all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but the best part was that I think somebody was like, well, it wouldn't even be useful to have a TV because there's no way you can get cable. You don't have cable or whatever, And I'm like, cable? Every place has an antenna. You can just plug the TV in and get over the air. And so I used to watch, like, if I got home early enough, I would watch Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And most of the times I would miss it. That was the earliest. No, what is it? Yeah, that was the earliest show I could get to see would be Conan. If I got home by 11:30 or whenever it came on, I think it was even 12:30 back then. If I could get home by 12:30, I could watch Conan. Anyway, but yeah, we had that TV for so long. And when we escaped, Lyman Spurlock, we were roommates with him and his wife Carol, and they went into our room, and there's like, they had a TV in there, and they had this, and I knew they were up to no good.
Yeah.
That's what he said in the thing.
Report.
I always knew there was nothing good going on in there.
Yes. And
I was like, it was our bedroom. Well, I mean, how many things could be going on in there besides watching TV and the other thing? Okay.
and most importantly, sleeping. And that's the report that Lyman
That's what
wrote.
I was talking about. What were you talking about?
Yeah. That's the report that Lyman wrote, like, the next day after Mark escaped.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, wow, really? That's the best you have, Lyman? You knew there was nothing good going on in there? Oh my gosh.
I think that's I think that's in our lawsuit documents. I think that report is in there, or it might even be in the spy files. I've seen the report since we left. I don't even know how I've seen it, but
it's probably that. Yeah.
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 Anyway.
And by the way, Lonesome Squirrel, aka COB Ilf, commented, Lyman Spurlock was the unsung genius behind the corporate sort out.
He really was.
Yes, he was. He was very, very closely involved with all of that nonsense that's led us here today. So there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Rest
Yep.
in
When I was
peace.
a Captain
Rest in
Flag
peace,
crew.
Lyman. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
When I was a Captain Flag crew, Lyman got sent down to do training at Flag, and he was supposed to be in the student dorm with all the other guys, crowded dorm. He walks into my office and he said, "Hey, is there any way I can get my own room, so I don't have to be in this dorm with all these guys?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean, just order me through OT5 and I'll give you your own, I'll get your own room." And that's what he did. He ordered me through OT5 and I gave him his own room over at the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He audited me through OT5 too, but at the int base.
Really? Wow. Oh, that was when he was in you're right. When I first got to Gold.
He was in management.
Well, no, I know, but management. When I first got to Qual.
He audited me.
Yeah, when I first got to Gold in 1990, he was in Qual Gold.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
And then he ended up in RTC by the time, I left in 2005. Wasn't he in RTC by that time?
Yep.
Yeah, he was like the corporate something or other, RTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was brought in to help secure the tax exemption bogus deal from the IRS, and he was in RTC for,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you another story.
Yeah.
Because I used to run the renovations and construction, we used to hire a lot of outside guys that were non-Scientologists. When I got time off, they would hire me to work for them. So I was doing electrical work, tree work, plumbing, carpet, painting. I had all these outside jobs. I even had going to the Fetchback's house on Saturday mornings to do their pool, take care of their pool and stuff like that, because they just lived a few blocks from Flag. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jobs everywhere.
This is so, like, at the int base, you couldn't take an extra shit in a day, and Matt's got a whole nother job going on.
You were like the king of external influence.
Oh my goodness.
Which
Lisa
is
Marie
what
Presley had a house on the right on the water, and she had this dock that went out about 80 feet, and it was over all the seagrass. The water was about 3 or 4 feet deep, depending on the tide. And I had okay to go there and fish anytime I wanted to. And I used to fish there all the time. It was
at Lisa Marie's house.
Yes. It's
at Lisa Marie Presley's house, you would go fishing.
Now, he had okay to go fishing.
Yeah, I had okay.
From Lisa Marie, not from Scientology and the Sea Org.
Well, yeah, of course.
Scientology and the Sea Org did not know about this.
That's so funny. She's like, "I'm not going to rat you out." Hey, man. That's how she was.
Knew.
She was just like,
yeah.
I know, you're just playing the game. Everybody's playing their game. I get
Yep.
That's because your brother. Tell the reason why.
Yeah, my brother was security for her. So
for like 7 years.
Yeah, so I had that connection.
That's crazy.
That's why. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Crazy.
The other funny thing I was going to say is when we would go to LA, if Claire and I, like if I had to go, besides the film thing, sometimes we'd have to go to the Norton Air Force Base. And at Norton Air Force Base, there was nobody there. It was just the Sea Org members from the shoot crew that would go and work there. But when we weren't there, it's just an abandoned airfield. There was nobody from the Sea Org there. Nobody would know if you were coming or going or anything. And so sometimes if there was an event happening and some of the crew on the film team would go and produce the event, and when they did that, we couldn't shoot because we wouldn't have any lighting people, or we wouldn't have sound people, or whatever we needed to do a full shoot, we couldn't do. Excuse me. And so me and this other guy named Kevin McHenry, we would go to Norton, and we would leave, because that was the only way we could get out of the property, is if we were going to the other studio, we could say, "Oh, we're going to Norton." And usually they'd want to make sure there was 2 people, because that way you don't escape, because the chances that you're going to convince another person to escape as well when you're both married, blah, 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 blah. It's a safe bet they're not going to go anywhere besides Home Depot or, Norton or wherever we're going. But we would literally just drive around and go to Walmart and go shopping, or we just do errands all day. And the Scientology in our lawsuit, they were like, "Yeah, see, you could have gone anytime you want. You went to Home Depot." But we would do stuff like that. We would if you had access to something off of the property, or if you were even going to LA to go get something, or legitimately go get something, not even do a Depeche Mode record run, but if you were going, you could take stops on the way and back. And Claire reminded me, when I used to drive the Religious Technology Center, when I used to drive them home at night, you were supposed to go from the property to the berthing and that was, no nonsense. But when I would be driving with this van full of RTC women, I would be like, I would kind of like see like I'm going to roll the dice. I'd be like, hey, who wants to go to Jack in the Crack? And they'd be like, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. And, I'd be like, yeah, can I get 7 bacon double cheese and 2 egg rolls, 2 cheese sticks, and 7 Cokes.
I lived on that property for 20 years. I did not one time get something from him at, restaurants or whatever. Not one single time.
Never, not In-N-Out?
Not a single time. I didn't even know there was an In-N-Out until
not Jack in the Crack.
Gosh,
no.
Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box was like Jack in the Box wasn't even like it was closer to us even than the college.
Well, it was right around where the college was. It was across the street from the college.
Fair enough, but still, a couple of miles, not all the way into town.
Wow.
Yeah, but so we were talking about this because. When I was in Religious Technology Center, I would have to. What?
Listen to this. No, this is the best. This is corruption all the way to the top of RT.
Yeah. So
total corruption.
So I totally caught on to this whole rush hour. I mean, it's true. Driving through Ontario, Riverside County can be either 6 hours or 2 hours, depends on your time. And if you're going to be driving during rush hour, why not just make a pit stop to avoid rush hour, right? How is that not?
Yeah, I'm sitting on the highway or I'm sitting at Jack in the Crack. What's the difference?
Yeah, and most oftentimes I was driving to Los Angeles on maybe 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep anyway.
I know.
So so there were a couple of times where I made pit stops to visit my family, and they just didn't ask. Mark and I did it a couple of times because we were, they lived pretty close to LA, kind of on, a little bit on the way to.
They lived so absolutely not on the way.
Either way, they didn't ask any questions. They were like, I would just call because I had a Nextel phone. It wasn't my phone. It belonged to the organization. So I ran the risk of them seeing it on the phone records, which sometimes they would, and I'd get in a lot of trouble. But nonetheless, I would call my mom and be like, hey, I can stop by for an hour in an hour. Okay. And right. She never questioned it. And like Mark said, during our lawsuit, they were like, well, isn't it true? You could have gone off at any time. And we're like, newsflash, we were driving your vehicle. Are you telling us you wouldn't have pursued us for grand theft auto? Yeah. No, that's not the case. Either way. So I'd have to go to Los Angeles for various different things related to Religious Technology Center business. Most commonly when I was having to do this, it was while Marty Rathbun was in Los Angeles doing counseling with Tom Cruise. This was during the whole when Tom divorced Nicole, and then they were getting, Marty was tasked with bringing Tom Cruise back into the Scientology fold and into David Miscavige's inner circle, which Marty accomplished. Right. But so during that time, I would have to go to LA at least probably 2 to 3 times a week sometimes to correct Marty, if he was doing something wrong.
And how would somebody know that you needed to correct Marty? This is where it's going to blow your mind, guys.
Yeah, because every counseling session was videoed and recorded, and those videos were being sent to David and Shelley Miscavige. And so Shelley would be the one to tell me, oh, Marty cut Tom off. He didn't let him talk properly, or whatever it was, random nitpick. And so I would have to go to LA and work with Marty so that he didn't do those things anymore. Well, my boss at the time was Sue Wilhair Gentry, and Sue got it into her mind that she needed a kitten in her life because, who's to say no? She lived at Sublet Road, and, convenient, her junior, Claire Headley, is driving to Los Angeles. So somehow, I can't remember if Sue found this lady or if Sue and I found this lady. But we found this wacko cat lady in the middle of Encino or Sherman Oaks in this tiny little ratty apartment complex. This woman looked like the mom from Something About Mary, if you've ever seen that movie. You know, like and I walked into this 2-bedroom apartment. Here I am. I'm from Religious Technology Center, by the way. I'm on my way to correct Marty on counseling Tom Cruise. And pit stop alert. Now I'm going to go pick up a kitten for Sue Wilhair Gentry, who had somehow had learned about Abyssinian kittens. And it's this Egyptian cat, and she had to have one. So she'd given me cash. I had to stop. So I stopped at this woman's house. I think her name was Barbara. I've never been in a more crazy sketch apartment my whole life. Like, this woman had no less than 30 cats in this small 2-bedroom apartment, and I had to pick up one of these kittens. So I picked up this kitten, put it in the RTC van, drove to the HGB, did Marty's correction, and drove back to the base and got this kitten for Sue Wilhair. But it gets better. About 2 months later, Sue decided that her Abyssinian kitty needed a friend. So now I had to do the same thing all over again. I was like, oh my God, I'm so going to get busted. If anybody finds out about this, oh my gosh.
So, but that's exactly what I was saying. Even the RTC guys are doing whatever the hell they want, whenever they want, trying to break.
What the heck?
You know, the place was so locked down that it was just like, come on, this is ridiculous.
And then plus it was stupid RTC that ordered my cat be confiscated and taken out to Happy Valley.
Right.
As well as other people's animals. So now she's getting kittens.
Our dog too.
Your dog too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now she's getting kittens. And I was told that my cat was eaten out there by a wolf or another dog.
I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. That looks like sounds legit.
I have a Marty story, an early Marty story.
Okay.
We were both, joined the Sea Org about the same time. It was our first year in the Sea Org. We're up at the int base. We both get a leave at the same time. I wind up flying to Long Island to see my family. And then I hitchhiked up to Niagara Falls to see this girl I used to hitchhike around with and hitchhiked up into Canada with and stuff like that. So I went and visited her. Marty, he takes a bus into Mexico. I have a picture of him. He took a picture with his harmonica someplace around here. You got it?
Yeah, I'll show you.
She's going to pull it out.
Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
When we both got back from a vacation, I said, "Hey, Marty, we should just go travel the world together. Let's get out of here." You can't say it quite like that because you don't want to get reported. But I was kind of like hinting, we should go just travel the world. And he's like, "Yeah, we should do that." But he wasn't really getting it. I meant, "No, let's leave now."
So can you see this? Can you see this?
Oh wow, that's Marty.
Wow.
That's Marty Rathbun in 1978, I guess.
1978,
Wow.
playing a harmonica
At
in
some
In
kind of
Mexico?
Mexico town,
In
way
Mexico.
down there. Yeah, he went
Wow.
way down into Mexico.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Tell 'em
crazy.
about what you would do for the food.
Oh yeah, I mean if
This kind of stuff. You already heard that when
Is-
we were on Beans and Rice, when we were routing out, he was actually eating steak.
Well, but then they would have these rice and bean things. We were supposed to eat rice and beans on the base for months or weeks or whatever it would be. And I'd be like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So I would take one of these vehicles that was lent to me, and I would go to one of these really sketchy neighborhoods where I know no Scientologist is going to be there. And I go into one of these little food courts. I would load up.
Matt's like, I'm gonna get a
put it in-
ghetto-tastic burger over here.
Yes.
No one's gonna see me.
For real. And then I would put it all up in the ceiling of my office, and then I'd be just drawing all that food out of my ceiling.
That's right. We were doing a job, and Matt was like, "Yeah, I used to work in an office. I'd just put my lunch right up there above the tubs, just like that. And then if I got hungry, I'd just reach up there and grab a burger."
Oh my gosh.
So everyone is starving.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to do the next Goldie giveaway.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay.
So Goldie giveaway, and again, just to reiterate, our sponsor for tonight's live stream is Fourth Wall, the merch provider for SPTV. Thank you to all the amazing folks at Fourth Wall. We love you. We love working with you. And our Goldie giveaway. So this is for anything from the BFG merch store that's up to $25 for tonight. And our next special winner is at Care4CJYT. There we go. Congratulations. Shoot me an email, claire@blownforgood.com, and let me know what you'd like.
Good.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, I can tell a quick story. When we had to do the auditorium, we needed it done really fast to hold an event because the event was supposed to be held in LA, but they didn't get the hall rented in time. So it was like a last minute, you guys have to change the dining area into the auditorium, what's now the auditorium. Anyway, the job had to be done so fast, the planning couldn't be done. And before it, we couldn't get any kind of building permit for it. So it had to be all just done. At the end, to get a cert of occupancy, you need all the stuff signed off that you did, all the electrical, you did the air conditioning, you did, the framing, all the stuff has to be all signed off by the inspector. But how can you get it signed off? The job's already done by the time we got the card that he's supposed to sign off. Anyway, one of the guys that was working for me knew the inspector, him and his wife. They would go out to dinner together and stuff. I said, well, you got to talk to this inspector and see if there's some way, what does he want? What would he need to sign this whole thing off and give us a cert of occupancy? Because we need to have this event happen there. It's going to be an international event. Anyway, he comes back and he tells me there's a certain car this guy wants. I got a Scientology public to give me that car. And I gave it to that inspector and he signed that whole damn card off and we got cert of occupancy. Bam.
Wow.
And I only say that because I think he's probably dead now because he was really old then and it was like 40 years ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't rat him out. But,
How much was the car worth?
It was a collectible. It was a car he always wanted, and this guy and this public Scientology made it happen. So
wow, that's mind-boggling.
Make it go right. That is the way.
Here you go. I got a comment to show real quick. Okay. Channel idea for Matt. I got a quick story. That's a great one.
Yeah, I could tell stories.
Yeah.
Oh my
absolutely.
God! When we go on these jobs, Matt, they're the best too because they're the most. If you were there, you're like, there's no way that ever could have happened. Matt's like, nope, I got it. I'm good. I did it.
Here's another example. Okay, me getting assigned to the RPF 4 times, right? Okay, Matt, tell them what happened when you got assigned to the RPF and worked for ASI.
Oh, by the time I was done, I went for a year with no pay, right? Because Miscavige wanted me to get kicked out of the Sea Org, so Gold wasn't going to give me any kind of pay. I did two things. One, I worked out the commanding officer of the States in PAC. He was talking to me one day and he says, how's it going? I said, pretty good. I'm getting close to finishing my program. And he says, well, what are you going to do when you finish? And I said, no org owns me. Nobody's been paying me. I said, you start paying me when I get off the RPF, I'll work for your org. So he said, no problem. So all of a sudden I started getting paid by him. And then Author Services, they needed me to work for them. And because to keep it legal, they had to give me minimum wage when I worked there. So I was getting a check every week.
You dog.
Yes, I was getting this check every week. Woohoo!
Because ASI are for profit, so they can't have people get the Sea Org pay because then that would be illegal. Right. Even though all of Scientology is for profit, but I keep trying to add this picture and it keeps flipping it for some reason. I just got this word from somebody. I wish I could show it. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Somebody sent Serge Obolinski a signed copy, or not a signed copy, a framed copy of his Rolling Stone magazine. And a whole letter and the whole article and this whole thing. And he had dinner with this person and they gave him this thing and I wanted to show it. I'll show it in another video. I'll figure out how to make it. But
nice.
I got another really quick story.
Yeah.
I'm on the RPF in Los Angeles and a mission gets fired and they're supposed to have the second floor of Big Blue totally renovated so they can move middle management from Clearwater to Los Angeles. And it has to be done by a certain day and it's really going to be tight. And they show up, the two guys that are responsible to get it done. They don't really know how to do renovations or anything like that. So I'm in the RPF and I'm what's called a deputy bosun. and I'm in charge of like the decks, all the production and stuff. So anyway, I sit down and I help them do all the, all the plans on what's going to have to be done and all this. And I said, this is going to be really tight. You're going to have the RPF go full time on this, but they're going to really drag their heels because they're going to be pissed off that you're taking them off study. So they're kind of real concerned and all that. And they said, well, you have any ideas? And I said, yeah, I have an idea. You're going to have to promise them they get Christmas off if they get this done on time. And they were like, yeah, no problem. They can have Christmas off, right? So come Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, we're watching videos and we're having a good old time. And Christmas morning, somebody comes running up and says, the staff, the regular staff, non-RPFers in PAC, their statistics were so low that week that they were going to have Christmas canceled. And that somebody was heading our way to tell us that since the staff couldn't have Christmas, then the RPF couldn't have Christmas. So you had like 70 RPFers jump over the back wall and head on down to downtown Los Angeles. We were gone. We didn't wait around.
They couldn't, because if they hadn't told you yet, then you didn't know. And so you just have to say, no, we were told we had the day off and no one told us any different. So we left before anybody could tell us any different.
They were on their way. They saw them coming.
That's so awesome. I know, that's one of my favorite.
I wish I had a video of them all going over the wall, man. It was so great.
It's one of my favorite stories. Like, quick, we got to get out of here. Make a run for it. Make a run for it.
Everybody's jumping the fence to get out.
Sorry, guys. I had to take care of something real quick. Can I do the next Goldie giveaway real quick?
I'm just going to say, let's do it.
Awesome. So we have 2 more. So this is the third of 4 giveaways. Thank you again to Fourth Wall for being SPTV's preferred merch provider. And our next Goldie giveaway winner is at Peggy Dooley. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Goldie. Thanks for watching and supporting. Shoot me an email, claire@blownforgood.com. and tell me which item you would like from the merch store up to $25.
You want to, Amy, do you think we should do the questions now? There's like 59 questions in there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm start doing them.
Yeah. Okay, can I tell you?
I can tell stories all night.
I know, that's why I was like, we should do the questions.
Yeah,
otherwise we're going to be stuck here.
I did something.
Oh, you did something? Oh, stop the press. We've got to get this in there. Come on, guys.
Amy fell asleep in the bathroom.
Oh my goodness. She's one of those people that would come out with the, like when they walk back in, when somebody's been in there for a half hour, they've been sleeping like this and they walk back in the office and you're like, hey, Tony, go.
What you were doing.
Go like this to your face before somebody walks in here. Be like, why? Because you've got your hand on your face right now and someone's going to see that and they're going to know you took a 45-minute shit.
Oh my gosh. Or what about in the building at the base where all the staff would do their training, the bathrooms had light sensors. And so people would be on study doing their, studying whatever they needed to for their posts 2.5 hours a day. And then
the way the lights
the bathroom, where there would be like 7 stalls and they'd go to do their business, but then they'd fall asleep.
And the light sensors couldn't see. They were in a place where they couldn't see if you were in a stall. And if you were in that handy capable stall, your feet wouldn't even make any shadows or anything. So the sensor would go out. And so you'd walk into the bathroom as a student and the lights would come on and then you hear somebody go like, like, oh, there's a motherfucker sleeping in this bitch. Oh shit. Be like, you bang on the stall like, hey, wake up, dude. Anyway, it was definitely the most embarrassing is if you're that guy. If you're in there sleeping and somebody opens it and then they go to open the stall and they're like, hey, is there somebody in here?
Okay, so speaking of, so it's just so stupid and it's lame, but that's why I want to say it, which is on study, because we had to study. Sometimes you don't get pay unless you go to study, but you don't sleep. And so you're in the course room and it's literal torture to try to study when you haven't slept, right? Yep. And so what I would do, this was my hack, is I would go to the encyclopedias and I'd study all about different things like, the Second World War or, Al Capone or just anything.
Just like you're looking up a word.
Yes, I'm looking up a word, but meantime, I'm in there studying all about that kind of stuff and just getting out of being able to study. But anyway, I did that the majority of the time, honestly, because we never slept.
Oh my
gosh.
We
never slept.
You just reminded me of something similar to that, except mine was way more sneaky. Because this was in my earlier years before I was in Religious Technology Center. And I love reading fiction books. I just love it. And I was reading Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth. Amazing book.
I read that, yeah.
And I couldn't put it down. And it was like my guilty pleasure. Like I'd read it on the bus. I'd read it late into the night. I would read it every chance I got. And then I finally figured out sometimes I would take it into the bathroom with me, speaking of bathrooms, and read in the bathroom. And then another time I figured out, I can't remember how, but I figured out how to hide it so that when I would be reading I'd be clearing a word in the dictionary. And I had it in the dictionary so I could keep reading it because I was like, I really want to know what happened.
Wow, what a criminal. She was reading a book.
I was almost like that with Louis L'Amour books because I'm a Louis L'Amour fan. But
nice.
But yeah, I would read them on the bus and everything, but I didn't take them into the course room.
Yeah. Well, no. See, I worked there at the time, so it would be sitting on my purse in the cloakroom right outside, and that's why it was close to impossible for me to resist it. I was just like, I just need to read one more page. And Wilbur Smith was my other favorite author at that time. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What a sneaky
okay,
little
so we're
bookworm.
gonna yes. So we're gonna go to the starred points now. We're just gonna ram through these because there's 60 of them. And so Claire, I'm going to click them. You're going to say them. And I have a picture that I want to show, but it'll come up when we do this.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go.
Mary, Rosemary, how many people are receiving Social Security and living at each housing facility via intimidation and fraud? Social Security payments are being given to Scientology. Yes.
Dozens.
We're going to do a lot more exposure on this on tomorrow's live. So tune in for that and we will answer that question, Mary. Megan
It shocked me.
Yeah.
Yes.
We know of dozens in LA in this area. If they're doing it in other Sea Org bases and in other countries, I don't doubt it. Whenever they figure out a way to steal money in Scientology, they tell everybody in Scientology so they can all do it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, last week somebody asked, do they take their Social Security? And I said, no, they don't take their Social Security. I mean, they'll take their inheritance or something like that, but I didn't think they were taking Social Security. So when that came up, I was like, oh,
they're
nasty.
taking out credit cards and they're using the Social Security for the minimum payments until the person passes, and then they just write the whole thing. Yeah. So they take run you up a $70,000 credit card, take your money to pay for the credit card that they took the money from, and then when you die, your credit card debt is forgiven and they're golden. They're fine. It's literally the perfect crime, and Scientology have perfected it.
Yeah. And sorry, one additional comment. We were talking yesterday about how Navy Federal Credit Union was a go-to for opening up lines of credit for Sea Org members that they absolutely did not qualify for. I got an email today about an OT8 public Scientologist that they did this with. And now this person is in a position where he cannot even make the minimum payments on those Navy credit union loans that they took out for him. It's insanity.
I got a guy who wrote me, his wife, he was off, in the war as a soldier. His wife's back home. She gets interested in Scientology. They run up credit of $120,000 debt. So he's, at this point, they're having a divorce. I mean, they were ruined. And this is coming up in the middle of it. Who's going to pay? Whose debt is it? And he's got his lawyer working on it and stuff. But there's still so much to clean up. They think Scientology thinks they cleaned up that mess. It's all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, and there's paper trails. That's the worst thing, is all these people have all the records. They're getting the bills. So they have all the paperwork.
Yep. It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
So next question.
I hid that one for you.
Oh, I didn't think we did that. The last one before that. I didn't read it yet.
We did.
We didn't. Yeah. Linda Lou.
No, we didn't. We didn't do it, Mark.
Yeah. Linda
You
Lou.
get out of there. You're not supposed to be doing that stuff.
My hands. I hid the one We answered. That's it.
But you just hit another one that we
I didn't touch
another
anything.
One.
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm hands off.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It was a question. It was a question for you, Mark. That last one, the other one.
Yeah.
Would you still be in if the eBay thing, right? Did you see that one, Mark?
Yeah.
That's
I saw it.
Hid was the eBay.
No, I didn't touch anything.
Answer it.
They said
No.
You didn't answer it.
I know I didn't say. No one's asked it.
All right, we'll bring it back. Linda Luke, question for Mark: what would you do if Depeche Mode joined Scientology?
Oh, they would not. There's no. It would be impossible. It never happen. You know, it is funny though, because there are a few Depeche Mode songs that have weird things in the lyrics. Like there's a song about like making money and getting stuff done. It's like, don't go this way, don't go that way, straight down the middle until next Thursday. And you're like, oh, no.
Thursday.
Yeah. You know, dumb things like that.
All right, Kelly Scott, question: what was the closest you ever got to LRH? Thank you for all you do.
I got about 40 yards from him one time.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
You win. Yeah. You win for tonight.
You
Matt.
win.
Closest I ever got was he wrote my mom a letter in response to her letting him know that she named me after the state of Claire, and he responded, and I was like, oh.
So he has literally talked about you.
There
you go. Famous. The closest I got is I went to the dude's funeral. That's about it. You know, he was already crispy by the time I saw him. You know,
Christy June, look at these 4 SPs. Woohoo!
Yay,
Special
Christy.
powers. Yay! All right, Mark Fisher, hand pink waving. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Ned Ludd, when is Shelley's birthday? Would it be rude to send a polite, courteous birthday card? Sure, do whatever you want. Her birthday is January 18th.
Her address is 6331 Hollywood Boulevard, 90208, 90028.
Alicia Medley, Liz Ferris, and Laura FM in the chat. Yes, we gave a shout out.
We did.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Kaz Ferns at Casey Isaac. There's still plenty of time for Mark to mispronounce your name.
Yeah, you said Casey.
I know.
You
I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose.
It's Cassie. Everybody knows that.
I know. But Cassie likes it when we call her Casey. It's funny.
I know.
You started this, Mark. KB, and Ursula is a never in. She has such a heart for cult of Scientology victims. She basically turned the whole country of Germany SP with help from our friends. I know.
She
amazing.
did, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, and you have to like attest that you are not a Scientologist to get hired in different businesses in Germany. Like
it's illegal to workplaces. It's illegal to workplaces if you are a Scientologist. And they look you up in the Scientology database on the internet. Like if you've completed a course. They're hardcore over there.
Yeah.
They've been through it. They've been through it before. They don't want any crazy cults taking over.
Yes. Jenna from Cali. My husband can always tell when I'm watching Mark Headley because of his voice. He has that sexy voice.
That's right. Thank you, Jenna from Cali.
Jenna from Cali.
Shout out to you. Shout back at you.
All right. Mrs. 907, mayhem like me. Such a tight community of chosen family fighting the scum together. There you go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Family of choice.
Yes. Sandy Del Rey, thank you for the super chat. Jefferson told Claire that he scored the highest on the IQ test that David Miscavige made people take. Do you think that's why Miscavige punched him in the stomach? Absolutely. Absolutely,
oh, yeah.
I do.
Jeff was one of the smartest dudes there.
Yeah,
Jeff?
and in fact, the other top 3 people that scored on that test, by my recollection, were Steve Hall and Dan Kuhn, I think, was in the top 5.
Yep.
And,
Mike Rinder.
Oh, yeah, Mike Rinder.
Oh, yeah.
And David Miscavige physically assaulted every single one of those people.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Francois, I think, was number 1. Francois,
which was his personal, assistant guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Francois Lalouette.
Yep.
Yep.
Jazzy J. Oh my, you're making me cry. Yes, Jazzy J. We covered that. Yes, absolutely. Lonesome Squirrel. Is the Dave doll anatomically correct? Well, that's an unusual question.
That's
as
for
much
you
as
to
any
decide.
elf is
Anybody.
anatomically correct by elf standards.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. He's life size, at least. I mean, actual size, if what you call it. But yeah, Captain Poopy Pants. Captain Chucklesworth.
Yes. He doesn't have any parts where whatever.
Oh, that.
I'll
no, he doesn't. Well, yeah.
Amber Vanass. Thank you for the super chat, Amber. Nice to see you here. Hi, Claire and Mark, Amy and Matt. On the road to somewhere. Question. Aaron had 2 conversations with Aussie Jason Havartik. He's studying LRH's texts from a philosophical perspective, separating the man from the work. Thoughts? I haven't watched those conversations, so I won't comment.
Yeah, it's literally like gobbledygook. It's gobbledygook. It's all made up gibberish.
Yeah. Jesse Schaefer, thank you for the super chat. Little Davy from the Navy. There you go. Yep.
Yeah. We call him, it's actually Fake Navy Davy is the name for the doll. Fake Navy Davy.
I like that. Fake Navy Davy.
Fake Navy Davy.
Yep. Colette Millette, 2 of my favorite couples. Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us. I think that was Canadian. So thank you for joining us from
I did
Canada.
It too fast.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're good. We have to burn through these. So Cat AC/DC fan, Mark, your personalized video you sent me for my donation and merch ideas was the most heartfelt thank you I've ever received. Meant the world to me. Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Good job, honey.
I did like
Slaying
100 of those this week.
I know.
Maybe even
was
150.
I was backlogged, and Mark helped me catch up. I was very grateful.
Yeah,
so.
she's got
that's awesome.
She has another 100 to go, I think. Or
we had a Headley all hands on catching up videos. And by Headley all hands, I mean all of Mark's hands.
And also, if you buy merch, so if you buy merch from the BFG merch store, we will thank you in a little. We give you send you a little thank you video. But some people say, "Oh, I want Claire" or "I want Mark." But then sometimes I answer, and then they say, "Oh, I wanted Claire." We're not mind readers, okay?
Yeah, we have said before, if you want one or the other of us, let us know when you can put comments at checkout.
Yeah, or you could just say Mark or Claire at the beginning of the message, and then that we know that's the one you want to read back to, because otherwise I'm probably going to be the one doing it because I'm the only one who's been doing them. So
that's not true. That's not true.
Uh-oh. You're going to get in trouble.
I'm going to run a report in Fourth Wall.
They
have amazing analytics.
And
it's going to tell me that of however many orders, I have done 80% of the videos. Just so you know, honey, I'm just telling you. Abigail S.
To be continued.
So good to see you here. Thank you for the super chat.
I'm going to start doing them right now in this video.
Just like, okay, hey Mark, we're gonna come back to the Mark. You got to tell them about your outro.
Oh, hold on. 1 second. I just want to document.
Listen to she.
Hold on. I did the wrong one.
No, it said Kimberly Stovall.
No.
Claire did mine. Page girl. Claire did mine.
Claire did mine. Hold on. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are so amazing.
Hey Tom, thanks for all the merch you got. You got a Xenu as my homeboy, a mouse pad, a premium hoodie, a Blown for Good book, and a very large donation. And I'm actually doing this live right now on the air in the middle of a video, Tom. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Claire did mine. There's another one.
Look.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
See, and then I just go poosh. That's it. I just did one just now. See,
was that the one I was supposed to do?
It was, yeah. You missed your window. See what I'm saying?
Question. You didn't answer the guy's question.
Well, you'll have to write him an email now, I guess.
Oh my God. Okay, read this one.
Abigail S. Will Mark Bunker be getting one of the little Davy dolls? I'm sure he can come up with a creative way to use it. Maybe as a way to rub it into Scientology when he wins his campaign. That's a great idea.
He's an honorary SPTV channel, so he will absolutely get one.
Yes, very definitely. Great comment. Thank you for that. John Zatowski in the house. Xenu says the best fudge comes from Uranus. Well, alrighty then.
That sounds disgusting.
It does. It does.
Much comes from Uranus. Oh my
Hey,
God.
whoa, take it
Watch
easy
your mouth there, Amy.
Yeah.
I was just reading a comment.
Well, Amy does come from a space family, so if anybody's going to say it, it should be Amy. Her family are very involved with the space travel.
All right, Sarah Wynn. Oh, Claire, thank you. Thank you so much for straightening the clips on your son's self-portrait.
Oh,
I
my
started
goodness.
this comment for you, Amy, because Amy is the one who was like, you've got to straighten the clips. It's driving me nuts. And I was like, yes, ma'am. I'm doing it right now.
OCD. I literally can see if anything's out of place.
Right before this
OCD
video,
about
she
that.
said, you've got to straighten those clips.
Please.
Literally. So I thought, Amy, I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
I love it. Thank you so much. What is it? Serween or whatever.
Sarah Wynn.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sarah
Kimberly Stovall, thank you for the super chat. Love Fourth Wall. It's so easy to use, and I just set up a monthly donation, tiny as it is, for the Aftermath Foundation. So excited about what you are accomplishing. You guys give me hope. Love you all. Well, Kimberly, that's amazing. We love you back. And yes, we are thoroughly loving the new Aftermath Foundation website. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. It does have the option for a one-time donation or recurring donation, and we just love it. So special shout out to our website fairy. She knows who she is, and she knows that we love her dearly. So yes.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Kaz Ferns, $80 and prime rib steaks. Way to go, Matt. System hacker of the universe, man.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I tell you.
That's great. That's great. Thank you.
Hey, look at I got a photo of Matt.
Don't mess with these boys.
That's that's Peter Erday that I was on the recruit tour with and myself.
Were you at Casa Bonita in Denver?
I was going to say, were you at Casa Bonita?
We have a picture like this with our kids when they were like 5 and 3.
At
and
Casa Bonita.
Yeah, Casa Bonita.
She's drinking a wine and the kids are pointing their guns at each other.
Yeah. We'll have to bring that one. Okay.
Good reminder.
Kim Ray, don't forget, there is a protest at Scientology tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alexa Nicholas is organizing it from Eat Predators YouTube.
Wow.
Right. Awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
sure there'll be
wild.
news of that tomorrow.
I wish I was in LA for that. I would support that. Meantime, that's really, really great.
Yeah. Cool.
Dreamscape. As a never-in, I can't fathom the control exerted over the members in this cult. It all sounds so crazy to me. Yes, it sounds crazy to us too. That's why never a day goes by we aren't grateful to be gone.
Yeah.
Oh boy. We like high five. What do we fist pump or high five each other all the time when we realize one more thing about why it's so great not to be in Scientology.
It's
like,
always,
and that's a daily occurrence.
Yeah.
It really
isn't
is.
it?
Yeah.
It really is.
is.
We're eating, Matt and I were eating dinner at a restaurant somewhere with a client. And it was just like, can you believe that we were wasting our lives away there? And now we can, like somebody just took us out to a very, very amazing meal. We had fun, we had laughs, and it was just like nobody cared where we were or was like, oh my God, the whole world's going to end if you don't get here in 8 seconds.
I know.
Osa, get out of there, man. What are you doing in there?
It's
You're
just
wasting
a
your
giant
time.
waste of time. You can never, I'll tell this story again. There was a guy that I emailed when I first escaped in 2005. And I was like, dude, you got to let me just tell you some things and you could be out of there. And he emailed me back and he said, I don't want to hear from you. Stop emailing me. And then just within the last few years, he got out. And I was like, dude, I tried. He goes, I know. And I was like, I tried. That's all I could do is try. And I said, because you can make more money, you can get another car, you can do all that, but you can't get back the minutes. You can't get back the days and the hours and the years, and you just can't get it back. So,
but
that's what we're trying right now, guys. If you're hearing us, if you're wasting your time and you're worried about your family, and speak out. That's the only way it's going to get sorted out, is if everybody speaks out. So
I need to say my motto: make today count. Tomorrow is never guaranteed.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Good.
Moving on.
Oh, that wasn't
Blow
the end?
drill.
Oh, was that I thought that was a big crescendo. I thought we were wrapping it up. I was like, fucking.
We're going to do an all-nighter. We got a lot of questions.
Holy moly, you
Dylan
guys. Lifers over here. I'm trying
I
to.
deleted all the stars that said where people were from. I deleted all those.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
We read
only
most
have
of
17.
those.
Yeah, that's okay. Dylan in the house. The formula for confusion is find out where you are. Yes, exactly. And it would often be required to do a locational.
Has anybody done a video on the formulas?
No, we should do that. We should totally do that.
It.
Yeah.
Just go
let's
through
do it
them.
as a group.
Yeah.
They're insane.
Because we can give examples.
Totally.
And find out where you are. I mean, I'm on this stupid property. I've been stuck here for 20 freaking years.
Yeah.
Am I like mentally somewhere else? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Let me give a 5-second explanation of what a locational is. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that screen. Thank you. Look at that wall. Thank you. Look at that light. Thank you. That's it.
I just had a cognition.
Over and over.
I feel
and
better
over
already.
again.
The room just
got brighter. It's bad when our cognition is in unison.
Yes.
And you try to talk really fast so you can get it over with.
Yeah, I feel great. Can we go back and get some work done? Jeez,
that was me on the running program. What am I supposed to realize? Okay, I just realized it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get me off of this thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jazzy J. I do not see it as rule breaking, quote unquote, and instead I use the word creative interpretation. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, completely. Bada29. Thank you for the super chat. Lost in Jenna Miscavige's book and forgot about the live. Oops. But loved the part when she said Claire was a positive memory of kindness during what seemed to be a difficult time for her. Not surprised, of course. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I love Jenna. She was so very kind about what she said about me in her book,
Yeah,
which
but
was
it's true.
amazing because, we had some challenging. Okay, OBG Foster. Question. If I put in an order for sauerkraut from DoorDash and gave them instructions to give to David Miscavige only, what would happen?
A security guard
Nothing.
would just end up eating it.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're going to be gobbling that up. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? They've been on rice and beans for months.
Somebody will check that food for them. It's going to be one of the security guards.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Sweet Liberty, I don't hate cats. I love cats.
We
saw
have
your
2
comment.
cats.
Yeah, I love cats. They're amazing. Creepy B5 question mark. Do you know Blasphemous Rumors?
Many, many, many. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. That's a Depeche Mode song. Yes, of course I know that song. I know every
Yep.
single song. Please. I used to know
Please.
I used to know the how long every single song was, and what the remixes, how long they were, and what order they were on the albums, and it's just. I'm forgetting some of that, but I still do know a lot of stuff about that.
I'm pretty sure our whole family knows every word of every Depeche Mode song from how frequently you play them.
That's possibly. I've only played the songs about 10,000 times.
Oh, my favorite ever was one. Did you know that Warren McShane, the legal guy at Religious Technology Center, was a huge Eminem fan? Did we ever talk about that? Yeah,
Never heard
Eminem
that.
was his favorite. And one day totally
What a
random.
wigger.
You'd never think
what
about
a
it.
wigger.
But so one day we were driving home and I said, "Oh, it's Depeche Mode." He's like, "That's not Depeche Mode." I'm like, "Really? I'm married to Mark Headley. Are you kidding me? This is Depeche Mode." And then like 2 minutes in, he's like, "Oh, never mind. You're right. It's Depeche Mode." I'm like, Captain Obvious over here.
Yeah.
Clearwater Chad. Chad, hit the like button. Who else will? Thank you, Clearwater Chad. Your Captain Davy Poopy Pants is going to be on his way tomorrow to you. Thanks for plugging the like button for all of us. We really appreciate it. Q-Bird, question. Matt, what did you catch?
Spanish mackerel and saltwater spotted trout.
Wow. Look
You're
at
making
him.
Grayson jealous right now.
I know. He's getting Matt has infected my child with the fishing disease. I've gone.
Seriously.
If anybody keeps asking why I look so red, it's because I go fishing with my youngest on Saturdays, and I've been getting a lot of sun in the last 4 weekends.
Yeah, every night my son's like, "Mom, can you search up blah, blah, blah reservoir? We need to see what the deal is for Saturday." And I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
That's
actually.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good to
Yeah.
hear.
We've
We
been
love
going
it.
fishing
That's-
we've going everywhere.
Yeah,
That's great.
he's enjoying it. Boda 29. Question, Matt, Have you ever had saltwater taffy back in the Northeast? Love
Of
all
course.
the boardwalk goodies. I'm down in Atlantic City.
Yep.
Nice.
You grew up in West Islip. Wow, that's the town right next to North Babylon where I grew up.
Nice.
So we're like neighbors for real.
Nice. That's amazing.
Oh, that's the next person.
Oh, okay. I see.
This is that person now.
Yep.
Here's this person.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Colleen, is Matt from Long Island, New York? Everyone in my town clammed. I grew up in West Islip, New York.
Islip.
West Islip, yeah.
Islip.
So North
Islip.
Babylon, and I clammed right out of
You
Babylon.
slip. We
and
all
right
slipped
out
for.
of, Yep. I have my clam boat, and I clammed on the Great South Bay all the time.
Nice.
Yep, he's told that's Matt. That's the other thing. He's got great Scientology stories. He's got great clamming stories. I tell you, he's got so many good stories.
Nice.
Totally.
Sea Org Tech discussions. Question to Claire: Do you know I had undergone a selection to become TC's auditor? I was informed by the president FSO, and when I asked her why me, she explained that a VIP needed a male auditor. I'm not surprised. So actually, now that you say that, I'm pausing to recollect, but I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise, for whatever reason, always had a male auditor. I don't think it was a VIP thing. I think it was a Tom Cruise thing.
Yep.
And the same was true for John Travolta, by the way. He always had male auditors. Maybe different reasoning, maybe not different reasoning.
Tom Cruise also had only male PCs because both of the PCs at the base, it was me and Kevin Catano as well. So
Yeah. So interesting observation, perhaps worthy of further discussion or perhaps not. All right, Daniel Garcia. Thank you, Amy, Matt, Mark, and Claire, for fighting the good fight while keeping me entertained 24/7.
Thank you, Daniel.
Try.
In his sexy voice.
You're gonna have to put out a video, Mark.
Give the people what they want.
Sarah Wynn in the house again. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Claire. Oh, for straightening. Oh, this we already. Yes. So we already did this one. Congrats on the 10K, Amy. Well, we did. We had it marked earlier. I marked it before it was a super chat when she was commenting on straightening the clips on my son's self-portrait. No. Put it back. Put it back. I wasn't done.
I lost it. Oh, I thought you said we already did it.
It's okay. We did it.
Mark.
She was saying congrats on the 10K subscribers, and I'm sorry, Amy. Sarah Wynn. Whatever the last sentence was, I missed it, and it's okay. But thank you for being here. Congrats, Amy from Sarah Wynn, for your 10K subscribers. Just the first part we'd already done. That's what I was trying to say. But it's okay. It's okay. Free Xenu project of Farsec. Mark, for the love of Xenu, Claire cooks your food.
That's the joke of all. I cook the food.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I do sometimes.
Who cooked dinner tonight? Who cooked dinner tonight?
That I didn't eat?
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Skaboosh.
That's neither here nor there. Answer the question,
Skadoosh. You cooked it, but I didn't eat it, so you didn't cook me any food.
Yeah, because we've been on a live, honey.
Anyway, either way, I win. Hey about that.
Either way, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Guess I'm off the hook for cooking dinner the rest of the month.
Same comment again too. Yeah.
All right, Laura FM in the house. Hello. Hey, Laura, we love you. Tomorrow, Thursday the 28th, from 12 to 2 p.m. Big protest down at Big Blue Buildings in Los Angeles for anybody in Los Angeles area or who wants to drive from afar to make it out. I'll be there. Awesome, Laura.
That's wonderful.
And if anybody wants to go to that, you might end up getting in one of the SPTV videos because there's going to be like 4 channels there. So I'm pretty sure someone's going to be recording videos.
Wow. Yeah, definitely record. That's awesome.
Yep. Amazing. Kara McAllister. Mark, I'm halfway through your book, and man, it is so good. I can hear your voice as I read it. There you go. And if you were listening to the Audible version, you literally would be hearing his voice. That's okay.
I do character voice. I do character voices on the Audible version. Yeah.
Do you really?
I do. Like when Muriel is when I escape on the motorcycle and they run me off the road and then I'm with the cops. Yeah. Muriel pulls up next to me. And the cop is there with me on the side of the road. He's not in his car. He's standing there with me in the motorcycle. And she pulls up and she goes, "What's wrong with Mark?" And then the cop looks and he's like, "You know this broad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she works at the property." He's like, "Move along, ma'am. We're okay here. We're good." But yeah, no. So whenever like it's like somebody like that, "What's wrong with Mark?" I do like the whole.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, and I think I even like practiced different voices for different people, or it could just be Muriel. I can't remember, but either way.
Oh, hold on.
There we go. I know.
There we go. Yeah. I just saw that
Jay
too.
Dice.
So this was
coming
from
to rescue.
Yeah, so this was from Sarah Wynn. Thanks, Claire, for straightening the clips on your son's self-portrait. Thank Amy. Congrats on 10K, Amy. Matt and Mark, always good to hear your stories too. This has been an extra special live stream. Yes, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Which, by the way, let me just do the last Fourth Wall giveaway if we can. So again,
yes,
thank you, Fourth Wall, for being the preferred SPTV merch provider. You are amazing. We love you.
Yes.
Really great experience. And our next Goldie giveaway for tonight, sponsored by Fourth Wall, is at Happy Puffin. Congratulations. Please go to the Blown for Good merch store provided by Fourth Wall and select the item of your choosing up to $25. Send me that link to Claire at blownforgood.com and we will return you a giveaway link. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's my turn to give away a signed book by Amy and her husband, Marc Mat.
Yay.
So anybody who wants a book, just say book me in the chat here, and I'll give you 15 minutes to write down. That's what Mark does.
15 minutes. I count down slowly from 5, and then I tell maybe a story or two in between 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then I get to pick somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
People got to get in there. Some people are slow. You got to let them get in there and get some of that. You gotta turn their phone
Okay,
around.
everyone, say book me, and I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Book me.
You are beloved. Ooh,
nice.
That's a nice one.
That's a great name.
Okay, so you want a book. So write to me and send me your contact information, Amy at Scobie-publishing.com, and you get a copy of my book signed by Mr. Pesh and myself.
Nice. Hey, are we?
Yeah.
Is the foundation approved in Maryland?
It's pending. Yes, I checked. I checked for the
Peg Leg, Pirate Peg Leg.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
it
So
is,
hey, Pirate Peg
everything
Leg.
has
Shout out
been
to Pirate
submitted.
Peg Leg.
Everything has been submitted. It's pending. Hopefully, in the next few days, we'll hear
It's
back. It's
Peg
approved.
Leg Pirate Tom.
Perfect. There we go.
There you
Yes.
go. Thanks, Peg Leg Pirate Tom. He bought a ton of stuff from the merch store and asked one question, and I thanked him for all the stuff live during this video, and then I didn't answer the question that he had. So
That's why I was giving him a hard time, because Mark told me to do that one and answer the question, and then I was working all day, so I didn't do it yet.
Mr. Window. That's what I'm telling you, folks. You got to get in there and get some of that. Don't
Mark
be dumb.
bypassed
Give me
me. Mark bypassed
Yes, that's
me.
what happened. You're in danger now.
Yeah. You gotta do
So
your danger
everyone,
formula.
please subscribe to both channels, Queen BSP and Blown for Good, for continued exposure of the cult of Scientology.
Yeah, we have SPTV has more subscribers than Scientology has members by many fold. We may have 10 times the amount of subscribers between all the different channels than they have members, and we're getting the word out. So you guys got to you got to hit the like and hit the subscribe button, because it jams the algorithm up. And Scientology is paying I don't know if anybody knows this, but in the last month they have upped their ad buys by millions and millions of dollars. If you search any one of our names on SPTV, the top result is a hate website right now. It hasn't been like that in a while. We've been kind of getting to the top spots just organically, but they're pushing it everything back down to get the top spot. Yeah, so they're really going hard right now, guys.
Pump up the jam. Well,
thanks for the support of SPTV Network, Osa.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And hey, shout out. We'd love to have you on. Any one of us would love to talk to you. So come on out.
Yeah, we know we know they're watching every single video now, because I heard a story from one of the newer channels did a video, and within 12 hours of the video happening, the person who may or may not have been part of something that was mentioned on a channel was contacted asking about that thing.
No kidding.
Wow.
Within one day,
they're busy
watching,
then.
And this is a channel that has like a few thousand subscribers, and they are watching every single minute of SPTV that they can get their hands on to try to put all the pieces together for whoever's giving info out.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally, we might all have 50 different people each that are telling us things that aren't even the same people, because they don't know Matt, they know me, so they contact me. So I'm saying there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are talking to SPTV creators, and then just all the family members that are still inside there. It's like a sieve at this point. The leak is.
They have no idea that the leak is coming from Osa itself. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, Matt, you said that out loud, dude.
It's ridiculous at this point.
So just to finish with the banners here. So to order a copy of Abuse at the Top, signed copy, paperback, go to my website, scoby-publishing.com. And if you want the Blown for Good book, go to blownforgood.com. Again, I want to put a plug for Goldie, and that's not the right one, so I'm going to take that down. But sorry, Goldie.
It'll be in the description on our video too.
It'll be in the description so that we can share some love with her. Again, I wanted to say with Scientology, it's always worse than you think.
That's for sure.
This is his common, he says it all the time.
So do I. It's never, you can never, even I'm hearing things that I didn't think they could do.
Yeah, me too.
That they're doing.
Blows my mind, this stuff.
Like when we left, we would leave and we'd be like, well, at least it can't get any worse. It's gotten worse since we left in 2005. You guys left in 2005 or 2004?
Yep.
2005. Yeah.
March.
So since 2005, they're doing like the stuff with the elderly. If that was happening when I was there, I never knew a peep of it.
Either.
They were just getting rid of the elderly. They weren't keeping them. They were trying to offload them because they just cost too much to feed, and they don't get any work out of them. The fact that they're doing this stuff now, even I'm like, wow, that they're like, there's nothing that you think that they wouldn't do that they won't do. They still do it.
Yeah. And I mean, with like 200 people or so are supposedly elders that are shuffled out at the Hacienda right now that can't even go down the street to, what is that down the street?
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. I was thinking, like, why would they keep these guys in? They used to just dump them, right? And now I'm thinking, after seeing Mike Brown talk, I'm thinking they're probably afraid to let these old people out so where their families can find out that they've been, abused, and that they have credit card debt that's like $100,000.
They can't. Yeah, they can't let those people get out into the wild. And if you do have a relative, or if you have somebody who is an elderly person and they are still in Scientology and the Sea organization specifically, because that's where there's a lot of these people are aging out. If contact social services or whatever it is in your area, whoever takes care, whoever you would report that thing to, and ask for them to get a welfare check. They cannot deny somebody to access to the property to get a welfare check. And if they're supposed to be at X location and they're not there, then you got to get them to tell you, well, then where'd you put them? Where you got them stashed? So anyway, you should do it. Right now, if there's any sort of recourse, is going to be happening now. Like this is gonna blow up over the next few months. There's so many more stories that we can't even tell. But if you've got somebody, get them now, because if you can get them out and you can get any information like we've talked about in some of these videos, like with Rosemary or any of these other videos you guys are seeing on the channel, the lawyers are gonna start circling, and they're gonna if you want to get paid, if you want the person to get paid back, the sooner you can get a hold of them, the sooner they're going to get made whole. Like people are writing checks. Graham Barry is representing people, and he is literally getting people. Scientology is cutting checks to these people to make them whole, because they
know that they deserve prison. That's what they know. They're trying to do scramble now. So,
and for those of you who are going, well, no, we don't want them to write them a check. We want them to go. No, if you commit wire fraud or you commit interstate fraud, it's done. Whether you pay it back or not, that doesn't make a difference. You did the crime. You're going to do the time. So anyway,
and just an additional note on any welfare check, it is incredibly critical to require a mandatory reporter be present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Good. Okay. Well, we're going to end our stream at this time.
Oh, don't we have 8 more things?
No.
Oh, wow.
Unless that happened over the
maybe,
last.
okay. Hold on.
Well, how did that happen?
Yeah,
okay.
no, there were more things coming in. So sorry.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Oh,
Oh, we did that one though.
Yeah, but I did find this one. Look at this. Oh, it's gone. Oh no, there it is. Megan D. Question. Mark, had the eBay situation been resolved, would you still be there today? No, I would not be, because I was already at the point where I was, basically, I would rather be not alive than to be there. That's literally the point where I was getting. Yeah. And I did mention that to Claire a few times. Like if somehow we were separated, I was like, it's over. I'm not going to stick around at this place.
Yeah. So, I remember you saying, if anything goes sideways, I think you said, I'm going to be a grease spot on the highway. And I was like, wait, what do you mean exactly by that? You were literally freaking me out. And I was like, I don't know if I want to ask, but I kind of have to. Like, is he saying what I think he's saying?
Yeah, no, I was not. I was not digging the scene there. I was like, this is some bull. Like, we need to that was basically around the time when I tried to punch out Dave Miscavige, and I got literally grabbed and taken out of the building. And I was like, and he was like, did you see that guy was gonna hurt me? I was like, damn straight, Skippy. I was gonna fucking pounce on your ass anyway, but yes. So no, I think the eBay thing was just like, you know what, this is my chance. I gotta take it. It's it's just I read the most amazing quote at this person's house the other day. Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity.
Yeah,
I saw that quote too. I literally went back to read it again. I was like,
yeah,
I love that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to end on that. No, that's it.
No,
it's done.
We got some more. Freezy new project of
people are doing
Farsec
super chats.
OSA. Thank you for supporting SPTV. Your watching is funding and fueling SPTV. OSA, proud sponsor of SPTV Nation.
Yeah. Scientology is paying for so many ads on Google right now that we are literally we got to do this, guys. We got to do it now while the cooking's good. For anybody who doesn't get... For whoever doesn't get the joke, Farsec is the planet where the L. Ron Hubbard said psychiatrists are from. That's what Farsec is.
Yeah.
Right.
Cat Maddie Jets. Question: how don't OSA get deprogrammed off watching SPTV all the time? Oh, they are. Trust us.
Well,
they are.
Some of them are, but some of them are hardcore. They're the only ones left. If they leave, there's no one who's going to be able to watch all this nonsense. They got to stay for the
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm calling that there's going to be a day coming where we're going to be talking to some OSA folks. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah.
I welcome that day. Abigail S., thank you for the super chat. They are live streaming the protest on Alexa's channel tomorrow. Eat predators. Awesome.
Nice.
Wow,
That's amazing.
great.
I'll be tuning
Woo!
in.
Me too.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Sarah Wynn, thank you for the super sticker, Sarah Wynn. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And Drush Marush, when is Blown for Good Volume 2 coming out?
I'm pretty sure that's what Claire's book is. I'm pretty sure that's just how it's going to go. So,
no, that's
but
not
no,
it.
we'll see. We'll see how hers does, and then we'll.
You
then,
already did the outline. So
I do. I have.
I'm just. That was me poking you, honey bunny.
The ending is happening right now. So when the ending is
Yeah.
over, then that's when the book will come
Pretty
out.
sure
Because
you said
this
that 5
all
years
leads
ago,
up.
and that already happened.
Mark, you better stop putting food up in your ceiling.
Yeah, I better. I better. I have an acoustic drop ceiling in this room, and I think I'm gonna put some in and out up there if I get locked back down here again.
We have a joke in our house when there's food in the fridge, and the boys will be like, "What happened to blah 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 leftovers?" And we're like, "Oh, Midnight Mark might have happened.
Midnight Mark.
Midnight Mark might have happened."
Mark.
There's no Tupperware safe from Midnight Mark.
Midnight Mark. I love it. Okay, well, it's been awesome being with you guys, of course, and
Yes.
lots of love, lots more coming this new week. Hold your hats because it's going to be a rocket ride.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the part 2 live with Mike Brown, Mike
Yes.
Render, and myself.
Oh, you guys are
about
gonna love
Rosemary
Yes,
Brown.
definitely. That's
Oh,
gonna be
my
great.
Goodness.
Everyone's got to be on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, if you haven't liked this video, if you like it, please like it on both of our channels and also subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.